try. Black Dale, thank you for 36 months. Vivi Gibbs, thank you for the 2 months. Joler fan. Hey, I was just saying all that. Spider Pig. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast on March 8th, 2025. Good to fucking see ya. I got ads back. This is the first weakness in Dan Clancy's armor. I've started to pry open a hole with which to attack. I got my ads back. That's good. God bless. The war. I have a little bit more funding for the war against Clancyville. He's capitulating. We have to attack harder. Yeah, exactly. I sent him a strongly worded email and he saw the podcast. He got nervous. That my voice was spreading and soon I'd be able to tear down brick by brick this Clancyville wall. Hey, good to see you all. How the fuck are you doing on this fine Saturday? Sorry, I took yesterday off. I was reading a book. That's what I was doing. I was reading a book. I was reading a book about nuclear power, actually. Proof that my sleep schedule's fucked. I'm still up when Big A goes live. Where are you, European? Nothing wrong with staying up for an Atrioc stream. That's what I always say. My greatest regret is I'll never be able to watch myself live. You know what I'm saying? That's my greatest regret. Get to work competition is in. Ooh, who won? Oh, we're gonna watch Get to Work. Isto made a Get to Work speedrunning video for Get Smarter Saturday. Not for that, but we're gonna watch it for Get Smarter Saturday. Apparently the video's fire editing, fire everything. Should be fucking awesome. Actually, let's check how it's doing. It's probably fucking already popping off. It is. Damn, he got 270K in a day. Deep 1 out of 10, especially for his channel. He only got 100K subscribers. That's all. That's gonna hit a mil easy. Yeah, we'll watch that tonight. It'd be sick. Cactus Farmer, thank you for the 2 months. Sea-Dog Get to Work video. Yeah, also, who's that? Smitty? SMI77Y or whatever. What's the, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Smitty put out a Get to Work video, not but a week ago, that got 1.4 million views. Check that out. 1.4 mil. So the game's still popping. This is recent. We're well over months after launch. He might put out another one too because he didn't even beat it in that one. That's staying power, baby. And we had our Steam front page coming up. So, not fucking bad. Brandon, 23669, thank you for the 4 months. Thanks for always keeping me entertained. Keep up the great content. I appreciate that, but I'm not always keeping you entertained, right? Like, not on Friday when I skip stream randomly last minute. Like, if you wanted to be entertained on Friday, I definitely let you down, just to be clear. But I appreciate your support anyway. 44 months. That's very kind. And hopefully the podcast plus multiple channels fills up that gap. Skinny Bones, thank you for the 40 months. Holy! Skinny Bones, let's read your first message. You've been here for 40 months. You've been around the block. What's your first message? What started it all? Let's do a little chat audit. This is going to be a long... I'm really scrolling here, Skitty. All right, we're now in 2024 early. We're still scrolling. Skitty Bones. We're now... Oh my God, wait. It doesn't even... I don't know. This could... When did you first start subscribing? You've been following since 2020? Oh, I'm never going to get there. I can't. I'm never going to get there. I'm sorry. You're safe. You're safe from an audit by virtue of having too many messages. This goes on. I mean, I'm still in 2024 and you've been here since 2020 and I've been nonstop scrolling. Genius plan to avoid an audit. Flood the zone. The zone has been flooded. Deleted my old Twitch, but signed up to chat. Okay. Cool. What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? Have you played Stanley Parable before? Yeah, I played it on stream. I played Stanley Parable, the sequel, on stream, and the original, I believe. 32 months. Thank you for the 32 months. 32 months. You were probably alive 32 months after the Big Bang, and then you gave yourself the word zinger. Usually someone else tells you if you've done a zinger. You don't zinger yourself. You don't go, zinger! They're gonna give you the zinger, Crunchy Butter, because that's how my chat works, but you didn't need to do it for yourself. That's a bazinga type moment. Actually, I was live before the Big Bang, if you must know. I actually inadvertently caused it. I was hanging out with God one day, smoking a fat blunt, and he had like this big vat of chemicals, I guess, and he's like, don't touch that. That shit's crazy. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna. But then I tripped because I was a little high. I slacked into it, fell over, boom. He was pissed. Created existence. No, I didn't fart. No, it was more complicated than that. It wasn't me farting. Is that why you're bald? I'm not bald. I'm not bald. You literally can't see how much hair I have because of this hat. So how would you know I'm bald? Checkmate, atheists. 55 months. Thank you for that. What days are the episodes of Lemonade Stand going to come out? Is it a weekly thing? Lemonade Stand's going to come out once every 5 years. We're going to do an episode. And there'll only be a few in our whole lives. And they'll cover every single thing that happened in the previous 5 years. It'll be like a powerful look. It's like those movies, After Midnight, After Sunset, where they film with the same cast and crew every 10 years or whatever. But on a more true and a more real level, every Thursday. Every Thursday is going to come out. We're going to record them on Wednesday, and Adish is going to edit them in less than 24 hours. Yikes. By the way, Adish volunteered for this. I want you guys to be clear. I was like, Adish, this is a bad thing to add to your plate. It's a very difficult job. And he's like, no, I really want to do it. So we have to figure something out for the Clips channel because the guy's going to die. Voluntold? No, not voluntold. Did he get a raise for it? Yeah, he got a 100% raise. Can you believe that? I said, I'm going to increase your pay by 100. I'm going to 1,000%, I said. I said 1,000%. And thanks for the 24 months, Dullahan. Thank you for the 24 months. Does Doug think your name is Brendan? Let's click this. Let's click this. By the way, if you haven't seen the podcast, it literally features a presentation wall where one of us is going to try to make a short little PowerPoint about something we're interested in every fucking week. Doug did his on how different things in the past have caused job loss and then job gain far greater. Does he call me Brendan?
As I say, video game industry. Remember, that didn't exist when you were a kid, Brendan.
Hey, dude. Wow, he did call me Brendan. Holy shit. The podcast is over. The podcast is over. That's fucking crazy. He called me Brendan. It's Brandon. He's like a fucking real name drop. Bloody Brendan. Are you suing the podcast for the rights to the MM format? Yes, I am. Yeah, you caught me. I set up this podcast as a way to bait Aiden and Doug into legal entrapment for stealing my shit. And then I'm going to get them good because they have huge asset. But I saw how much money Aiden was making on the yard, and I was like, I got to steal some of that. I got to find a way to get him in the courtroom. And he will break. Hey, Big Eb, you watched Freerin. You remind me of the main character because she's old AF like you, lil bro. First of all, don't call me old AF and lil bro in the same sentence. That's just obviously not a correct way to do it. No, I haven't watched Freerin because I'm not a fucking weeb. All I know about Freerin is that Pay the Musician told me whenever he needs a banger video, When he's like, I got too many bad ones in a row, I just put out a Freerun one. Because Freerun fans will fucking lap that shit up, dude. Freerun fans can't get a fucking enough. Freerun fans want to hear about Freerun all the fucking time. That's all I want to talk about. Freerun, Freerun, Freerun. Big A, I haven't watched Severance. Stop asking me about Severance. Stop asking me about Severance. Stop asking me about Freerun. You know what I'm going to watch? I'm going to watch... Actually, you know what I did watch today? Well, I'm going to tell you guys before we get started. Well, we're still in the fucking early situation. I'm going to spoil a movie for you that I know none of you are going to watch. There is a movie called Anatomy of a Fall. Or in French, Anatomia d'une chute. All right, if you want to see this movie, then don't listen. I'm going to spoil it for you. I'm going to spoil it. Anatomy of a Fall. I watched this over 2 nights, yesterday and today, with Ari. I'm going to spoil this movie. All right? If you don't want to, if you think you're going to watch it, but let me remind you, it is it's like 2 hours, 40-minute French movie in French. I want you to know that before you think, maybe I'll watch it. No, you're not going to watch it. No, you're not going to watch it. It's fucking 2 hours, 40 minutes French. Okay? You couldn't even split it into TikToks. This movie is the most French fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. It is all about, this is a spoiler. Okay? There's a couple, a man and a woman. They're both writers. They're both frustrated writers. She's bisexual. He's depressed. They have a kid who's half blind. Okay? It's so fucking French. They live in a chalet in France. Isolated. And they argue and they smoke. And they're French. The movie starts, or the inciting action, is that the man, the husband, falls out of the window, hits the ground, and dies. Blood all over the snow. And the entire movie is trying to figure out whether he killed himself or whether she killed him. Okay? That's kind of interesting. What happened? She's not French. She's German, but she speaks French and English. Mostly. She speaks no German in the whole movie. She speaks a little bit of English, mostly French. And that's the fucking movie, okay? Now, I'm vaguely interested. But then they spend the next, I'm not kidding, hour straight, probably an hour 30 of the movie is unbroken shots of courtroom procedure in France, where everybody wears fancy fucking robes and talks loudly and quickly in French, okay? They're arguing and 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 arguing. And over the course of the movie, you come to realize they've been fighting for a long time. They have a frustrated relationship, but he's also depressed. He's tried to kill himself in the past. He's taken a bunch of aspirin. He's a depressive, failed writer, and she's been a successful writer, and it makes him jealous and petty and angry and sad. All of this is done in front of the child who's watching the whole time. So the movie's like incredibly sad. You know what I'm saying? It's not only depressing for the characters, it is depressing moment to moment. The movie's just sad and depressing and continues to go on. At no point, let me remind you by American audiences, at no point in this movie does anyone say, he's right behind me, isn't he? Or any kind of fun Marvel quip to break the tension. Not one time. Not like even a half, no quips at all. It's just sad. It's just sad, depressing. And you're trying to figure out at least what's going to happen. And you think maybe there'll be like a big twist or something. There is no twist. It is just about how you know what? He actually was depressed and he did kill himself. There's no twist. It is, he just killed himself. There's a spoiler. He killed himself. That's the fucking movie. By the way, 3/4 of the way through the movie, through this depressing movie, which by the way, I will say is extremely well acted. I definitely, you feel the emotion, but it's just sad. 3/4 of the way through the movie, the son, the blind son, half-blind son, who has been dealing with all this trauma from the trial, who's found out that his dad was a suicidal depressive, attempts to test out one of his dad's suicide methods on their extremely cute dog. So he feeds him aspirin, not knowing what'll happen or whatever, and the dog eats aspirin and almost dies. There's like an unbroken 15-minute or 5-minute scene where you think the dog is gonna die. He's like, and I'm like crying. I'm like welling up with tears because they're zoomed in on this dog's face as it like chokes to death on that. It's so sad. It's so sad. I could not stomach it. The dog lives because the housekeeper comes in and pours salt water in the dog's mouth to make it throw up. And the dog lives. Thank God. I would have fucking walked out and it was in my own living room. Anyway, after all of this arguing and this trial and this evidence, at the very end of the movie, the kid goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot. My dad was suicidal. He told me in the car," basically. It's like the big final, scene of the trial. The kid goes, yeah, I actually remember my dad telling me he was suicidal. And then it's over. And then the wife gets off on the trial. By the way, the whole trial's a farce. The fact is they have no murder, they have nothing. They have no murder weapon, they have nothing. They have just like, well, I mean, he could have killed himself, right? And they have this whole trial. The French government must be bankrupt because the whole thing looks incredibly expensive. They have to hire like a person to watch the kid at all times. There's like this massive trial. They're doing like all these tests. I'm talking about the movie called Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomia d'une chute. A French film. That is the most French movie I've ever seen. All in all, I do like it. I did like it. I'll recommend it, to be honest. It wasn't like a movie I haven't seen before. But if you are in your blood and in your mind an American, you'll hate it. Because it's as French as they get. It's like the most French movie you can think of. It's about two depressed writers, one of whom kills themselves. Can you think of a more French movie than that? I'm going to be honest with you. A meandering, nearly 3-hour movie about depressed writers. This is a crazy first stream to see live. Welcome in, dude. We talk about all shit here. If it ended open-ended, it would be more French. I mean, it does. It does end open-ended. At the end of the movie, you're like, well, maybe she did do it. We never know. All we know is the kid's testimony, but the kid could be wrong or lying. The kid wants to be with his mother. She could have killed him. They never actually fucking, they never answer it. Of course, it's a French movie. It could never end with an answer. It has to be open-ended. It feels implied that she didn't. Yeah, I think she didn't, based on the plot of the movie. That's not the point. The point is, it's all about, it's like the director's like, who cares what happens? It's all about the moment. You can tell that was the purpose. You can tell the director thought they were so fucking smart because it's not about the plot. It's about the action. It's about the moment. It's about the life. It's about the life. Hey, thank you for the sub. Canths. Can't believe you missed my sub. Thought you were a real one. You know what would be a real one thing to do? If I was a sub, would be to like, oh, he didn't catch my sub out. He's in the middle of a rant. But I don't care because I'm a real one. What about real one chatters? Why we always have to get the streamer to be the real one? Why can't the chatter be the real one every now and then? Be like, you know what? I bet he does appreciate the support. I bet he does. But I don't need a personal thank you sometimes because he's in the middle of a damn rant about Anatomia d'une chute. First time chatter, the rumors are not true. You're not that bald. Bro, I'm wearing a hat. Please don't try to glaze my hairline when I'm wearing a hat pulled low. I don't appreciate your compliment. It's not. It doesn't feel earned at all. It feels fucking comical. Atrioc has the LeBron hairline and LeBron stat line, baby. You see me on the fucking court. Bully ball, baby. Too big, too fast, too physical. I go into the paint. I take it to the rim. Hey, thank you for the sub. Everyone? No, Jay, you could say, Prime, Yard Work Shoes, thank you for the 22 months. Low Saturn, thank you for the 28 months. Geek Writer, thank you for the 10. Kansas Sucks, 911, that's your username? You chose hating the state of Kansas as your identity to the world? I've lived in Kansas. You're right. I lived in Kansas for 2 years. You're right. Kansas sucks. Amen. Actually, I don't know if I got the full Kansas experience though, because I lived in Fort Leavenworth I wasn't in the prison. I'm sorry. I lived on a Fort Leavenworth military prison is the base that my dad was stationed on. Neither of us were jailed. The thing about Kansas is that it's so goddamned flat. You just drive and it's flat as far as the eye can see, and it's not great. It's not great. Toyota, thank you for the 5 months. Chess Pip, thank you for the 2 months. Peaches AC, thank you for the 35 months. Good thing the prison has an air force in case convicts try to fly away. I've never heard of a convict doing that. Actually, I have. Never mind. Wasn't there that drug lord, the cartel guy, where they just landed a helicopter right in the middle of the prison, and he gets on and gets out? It was like insanely badass. No, Con Air is a movie with Nicolas Cage. It's not really thing that happened. I do love Con Air though. Thank you for the 19 months, Silent, and your powerful message, Glizzy. What could that mean? I don't know. We'll never be able to decipher it, but like your 19 months means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 40 months, Seraph3349. Have you seen Claude Plays Pokemon? Every time I tune in, it's like irredeemably stuck. Every time I tune in to Claude Plays Pokemon, it is just irredeemably stuck, making no progress in a constant loop. It is if anything, a gigantic middle finger to AI that it can't beat distributed Twitch chatters. That an AI with access to the fucking RAM of the game can't make progress compared to a bunch of people screaming. It's uniquely bad. The progress has been astronomically slow. A-Cove, thank you for the 46 months. Appreciate that. What's good? I'll tell you what's good. A lot. Except for that French movie. I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a good movie. But call me crazy, call me fucking wild, I don't like seeing a close-up 5-minute scene of a dog dying. I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me unhappy. Especially a really cute dog who you've grown to love over the course of the movie. It didn't die. Yeah, but it was very close. Like it's like gasping, and then like its eyes start rolling back in its head, and like it doesn't. It's very sad. It's like, and my dog was right there on the couch next to me, and I felt bad about it. Is not what you like, is what's realistic. Fuck the French. Fuck you, French. Just because you have nuclear power, you think I'm on your side for everything? He's called dark humor, yes. Did the dog win an Oscar? Should have. I don't know how they did that dog shit at all. Dog looks so dead. Are you wearing yellow to promote the podcast? Yep, that's what you caught me. This is my lemonade stand shirt. Every time you see yellow in real life, it's like a subtle ad for the podcast. So basically, every time you're peeing, you should be like, it's a reminder, take out the podcast. This is what your podcast sounds like? This is what our podcast sounds like.
Aren't tariffs a fee on not being American?
Especially if you're in Mexico or Canada, right? Because they're the nearest to us.
So we're making stuff from Canada more expensive, right?
Do tariffs on Canada mean that I can't buy vintage Toronto Raptors Vince Carter jerseys and wear them at college parties?
Oh,
Well,
They can't do that, can they?
no. Oh, hey, could you look at this drunk driving tariff I got the other day?
yeah.
Yeah. Check it. That's like not legit, right? I don't have to do anything with that.
Well, you're not.
This is what a podcast sounds like to you? That's not what a podcast sounds like. That's not at all what it sounds like. It's not even a little bit what it sounds like. Does Aiden have a lot of drunk driving charges? Maybe. Is that relevant? Does that affect your opinion of him? Why? Does he constantly drink and constantly say, no, I'm good for it, give me the keys? I guess. I mean, I'm not keeping track of it. Does he constantly have the police around his house? Does he have a boot on his car? Does he... Yeah, I mean, these things are, I guess, in one sense true. But in a French sense, what is truth? You know what I'm saying? We're all just atoms on this rock orbiting the sun. Who knows what it all means? Did you see Trump retweeted an article that said shut up about egg prices? And he was goddamn right to do it. I'm sick of these Americans complaining about grocery prices. Okay? If you wanted grocery prices to go down, you should have said something during the election. You should have mentioned that it was important to you somehow. You can't just come in later after you've already said you don't care about them at all, and then suddenly be like, no, actually I do. I have $700 worth of eggs in my fridge right now. Bro's got fucking one egg. Bro's got one egg. Americans voted for inflation. Fango, do you ever take a day off? You ever take a day off? You think you're going to bring Trump down in this chat? You're fucking relax. Relax. You're not. I think you're acting like you're. Go to Aspen's chat, say. Maybe you'll make a difference. This is ironically, if Elon had found a way to lower egg prices, he'd have the positive public perspective he's making for him. He has some sort of rocket ship for egg prices when they go down. Like a drilling. There's something there. He could do it. Froggington, they give it to 34 months. I'm sorry. You need to get this guy on the podcast? Who's this guy? Oh, Chris Kohler? I like this guy. I've only seen him through shorts, but they're very funny. This guy. Oh, I know Marketing Monday. This guy. Yeah, they're all pretty good. I like him. I don't know if he'd be able to come on the podcast. He seems like he's in Australia, right? But I like him. He's good. Did you start the podcast to get closer to conversation with Lena Khan? Maybe. Maybe. I know Aiden did. Aiden specifically told me this about the podcast. And I will say that the greatest driver of getting this podcast made was Aiden. Well, maybe Perry, actually, because we're all fucking content creators, so we're not good at forward motion. Perry's our producer who did a lot of the real work. But Aiden told me that he has guests that he wants to talk to, but there's no way they would ever come on the yard. And so he's like, one of his key reasons for doing this was he like wanted to talk to her, yeah. Haley Welch will be our first guest, and we're gonna go deep into how powerfully Talk to Her changed the paradigm of broadcast media. Did you see that JD Vance used to play MTG and played Yawgmoth's Bargain? I did actually know that. I did that about old Vancey. One of his best attributes. Any comments on Lakers getting blasted? Are Lakers playing right now? Holy! I hope they beat the Celtics. Oh, I hope they're losing pretty bad though. I hope they beat the Celtics, bro, but they might not. Whatever. We need a loss right now to set the drama up for the finals. Scripted. It's a scripted loss. Scripted loss. By the way, they're on an 8-win streak, so loss has to come eventually. Welcome, Femboy Hoot. First time to a stream. Welcome. We're going to do Get Smarter Saturdays today. That's the main thing today. Get Smarter Saturdays. Lots to talk about, though. There was a article about an explosive meeting at the White House internally where Republican officials and Elon Musk had a fight, a big clash. And I wanted to read this article with you guys, get to the bottom of what happened. It sounds pretty intense. Would you be kind to stay close to the mic during the next podcast episode so we can hear you better? Aga. Squeaks viewer, I see. Yeah, I have been told that by everybody now. Everybody has sent me a DM. Hey, loved the podcast. Loved it. Good job. You should be closer to the mic, though. My fucking mother sent me that. Everyone has told me. So I will do that. I will be closer to the mic. I make it my solemn vow to do that. Big A. Are there tariffs or not? It changes every minute. There are still tariffs, but there have been mass exemptions granted. I think 90 to 95% of Mexican goods are now exempt. And certain things in Canada are now exempt. I mean, automakers are exempt. It's difficult to keep up because it feels, and I think I'm not crazy here, it feels unplanned. It feels directionless. It feels like a parent trying to punish a kid, but when the kid cries, they pull back the punishment. So they can't. The parent wants to try and do something, but also doesn't want the consequences of the kid being mad or sad. It feels like bad parenting, to be honest. When we start linking the videos, not yet. Not yet. Did you see SBF got, his name is SBF, he's not a sunscreen. He actually doesn't need any sunscreen because he's fucking pale as shit. He did. Sam Bankman-Fried did a podcast with Tucker Carlson from jail. We'll probably watch the CoffeeZilla video today. And then he got put in solitary confinement for doing it. Which I think is fucked up because I think all prisoners should be allowed to do content creation. It's the hardest job there is anyway. It's not like it's a reward. Every prisoner, if anything, it should be part of their punishment. You should be forced to stream on Twitch or forced to do a podcast because these things are fucking backbreaking labor. It's incredibly hard. And it'll teach them, I don't want to do this anymore. I better reform. I better shape right the fuck up. Start a for-profit prison content farm. Holy shit. That is one of the best ideas I've ever heard. A for-profit content farm prison. The prison is the content house. Like the fights in the prison will be part of the content. Holy shit. You just film the whole thing. You get everybody's backstories, so everyone gets attached to different characters. It's like a Big Brother, but it's a prison. Didn't Kai do that? Yeah, but it was with content creators who became prisoners. We're going to turn prisoners into content creators, so it's more raw and real. Poggies, yo, he got shanked. Exactly. Exactly. Clancyville is already a massive open-air prison. I mean, basically. You're actually fucking right. You're actually fucking right. Honestly, you said it, not me, but no one could have said it more wisely. Clancyville is indeed an open-air prison. The people within it, even if they're not actually shackled, their mind and soul are shackled. Their body may be physically free, but Dan Clancy's top-down control of the entire society is a mental shackle that which they cannot escape. Does the tariffs being canceled and then back on again lead to the threat of tariffs diminishing and thus their effectiveness wears off too? Yes. Yeah, listen, I mean, the lesson that he's sending, I don't think the tariffs are a good idea to begin with, so I guess it's fine. But the lesson that other nations are sending is that he cannot stomach the pain that would come, even if it's smaller for America than for them. He can't stomach the stock market hit or the polling downturn that comes from tariffs. So all they have to do is just not comply and he'll back down. That's the lesson. I mean, the lesson is that he's doing these tariffs hoping there'll be absolutely no ill effects on the American side, which of course there will. And the second there are, he backs down. I mean, the best example was this. Claudia Scheinbaum has learned to play him like a fucking fiddle because Claudia Scheinbaum just comes up there and puts a big graph up that says Donald J. Trump equals good. She just does this and then he puts the tariffs off. This isn't even anything new. This is just, she's figured out the way to play this is just flattery. And then all of a sudden everything gets exempt. The tariff strategy has been so ad hoc, random, willy-nilly. I would have really supported a smart tariff strategy focused exclusively on China, where he went to all of our allies that we were still good friends with a few months ago and said, hey, listen, free trade with us. Let's keep it together. Let's use our united front and slowly raise 1% a month on China to really try to get some of the manufacturing clawed back now that they have 50, 60% of the global manufacturing. Instead, it was on everybody. Now we have no friends. Speaking of stocks, how's the Doug stocks game going? Have y'all rebounded? Have y'all rebounded is a good question. I wouldn't say y'all have. I would say I have. I would say I have. I would say you could take my most highly performant investment, Tempest AI, and turn it from 40% positive to 40% negative, losing $400, and I would still be doing more than everyone else combined. That's what I would say. I would say you could even get rid of this, make it negative, and I would still be outperforming. I will say Chili's red is a real fucking dark day though. Listen, as Chili's goes, so goes America. I think George Washington said this. It's a powerful phrase. The economic health of our country is determined by our Chili's restaurants. That's Warren Buffett. If Chili's starts to drop further from here, look out fucking below. Look out below. This is the barometer, folks. If people aren't eating delicious triple dipper deals, if they aren't getting the big smasher after a long day at work, then our country's economy is getting big smashed to dust. We have a baby back ribs based economy? Yes. Yeah, I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I'm loving it. George Washington. Wait, I'm loving it as McDonald's. My buddy was getting hyped about how he was going to be eating good in the neighborhood, and I unfriended him. What the fuck's your problem? Your buddy is excited about eating good in the neighborhood, an incredible thing to be, and you pull back your friendship? What is your fucking problem? Oh, Applebee's. Oh, you're right. You know what? Not only are you right, I'm going to fucking date. I'm going to VIP you. I don't remember Applebee's fucking slogan because I fucking hate Applebee's. I didn't realize you were a fucking warrior on my side, dude. I actually apologize. We all get heated in this battle, dude. VIP SSS Tatonk. Applebee's eating good in the neighborhood. Gross. Are they gonna die already? I thought millennials killed Applebee's. I'll be honest with you. Applebee's, corporate health. Where are they? Applebee's. Dine Brands Global. Oof, dude. Look at Applebee's 5-year stock. Yuck. just yuck, dude. Yuck. Neighborhood going downhill. Yeah, exactly. The neighborhood's there goes the neighborhood is what I always say. Since the USA now is going to compete with China on its manufacturing sector cost-wise, anyways, if you're president, what was your approach on the U.S.-China relationship? I just said it. I just exactly what I would do. I would try to get as many allies as possible to agree as a united front to do small but slowly increasing tariffs on China. Here's the thing about tariffs, too. Let me try to explain something. This just happened, so... let me explain something about tariffs. Okay. Let's say you are an American company. This is USA. I'm not going to try to draw it. This is USA. Okay. Let's say, for example, you're an aluminum company based in America, or you do a lot of business in America. The idea of the tariff is, if I can't, where's a country that makes a lot of aluminum? I don't know, but let's say it's fucking Italy. It's not true, but let's say it's Italy. Okay? You get aluminum from Italy, you bring it to here, maybe you process it. Okay? If we throw up a big tariff right here, the idea, I think that Trump has, is that the company will be forced to start building a new supply chain here. They're going to build more factories here. They're going to build mines, whatever. They're going to do everything they can to get aluminum here. The problem is, if you're a smart aluminum company, you're planning in 10, 20 plus year cycles. You're not planning in 4-year cycles. And if you're looking at these tariffs that go 30 days, then reduced, then 30 days, then reduced, then, you know what I'm saying? You're very worried that you might actually spend $12 billion to make a factory here, and then the tariffs are gone in a month or in the next administration are gone. And all of a sudden you have an uncompetitive factory, and then the next company just starts importing from Italy again. Do you understand? The idea with a tariff is not only that you have to, you probably just shouldn't do it, but if you're going to do it, it has to be extremely rock solid and consistent for everyone to trust it. Otherwise, they just wait it out. They just complain and wait it out. Because the cost of building a new factory here could mean the bankrupting of their company if the tariffs ever gone. Do you understand? And this is not theoretical. This is what an aluminum CEO actually said. I just read an interview today. This is what they're like, hey, we're in 10 to 20 year cycles. And this is too chaotic for us to plan for. We don't, and especially in America where like the next president could do an entire 180 and flip it around. And all of a sudden you've built your supply chain here and it's not cost competitive anymore because there's no more tariff. You understand? So what I would say is, I think the world, sans China, would agree that China having 55+% of global manufacturing is dangerous, right? They make everything. Every supply chain goes through China. Batteries, guns, bullets, drones, everything goes through China. And it's like, that's a lot of reliance to have on one country, especially one that is like a bit of a geopolitical rival. So theoretically, if you were like trying to be real smart and consistent about it, you might try to get every ally you can. EU, Korea, Japan, and make a united front where you have small but growing tariffs and stick to them so that eventually it becomes more cost effective to slowly but surely onshore or friendshore, not necessarily in America, but in an ally in one of these countries, some of the manufacturing. So it's not all here. They would at least, listen, there's a lot of arguments for and against, but I would say that would be a strategy I could get behind. I could see the logic behind it. It would make sense. It would be consistent. But if you instead tariff all of these countries at once, then really they're all in chaos, and their best strategy is probably to go trade more with China. Like, it's not a smart strategy, like what we're doing right now. And then also, if one day it's there, next day it's gone. One day it's there, next day it's gone. Do you understand? It's ineffective. It's as messy as this graph, this chart that I've drawn. And that's my stance on it. That's why I think it's a little bit foolish. Guys, I will check out the Logic Defender video, but if you are a Logic Defender or if you are one of the people in a Discord group with him right now being told to spam this, it actually makes me want to watch it less. I just want you to know. I hate being constantly spammed to watch something when I'm doing something else. I hate it. I despise it. So if you are part of this strategy, just know that it is working to your detriment. It is very annoying, very frustrating. And it's annoying to the rest of the chat because you're constantly spamming or we're talking about something else. Okay? Of course I want to watch it. What is your impression of Trudeau's response? What I'll say about Trudeau, I think he overstepped. Listen, Trudeau's been beaten down for 4 years, okay? Everyone in Canada was hating him. It was a fuck Trudeau angle. This is the first time in a long time where he's been kind of like getting people behind him. Because there's a surge in Canadian patriotism and he's like the leader and he's like, hey, fuck you, Trump. And everyone's like, yeah, wait a minute, this guy's not half bad. And it's surging. And I think he should really try to keep this, like, he was saying this thing earlier. He was like, hey, to our American friends, listen, we are friends and allies. We've traded. We don't know what Trump is doing, but we're going to stand tall. And it's like, No one can fault that. I think today he was like, or not, or maybe yesterday, he was like, yeah, keep booing the national anthem. And then that was the first time I saw some comments that were like, hey, whoa, 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 hey, whoa, whoa. I'm just saying, you really want to have it's Trump. He's the problem. You don't want to be like, fuck America. I hate every fucking American. I think you're going to lose. That's my political strategy, I would tell you. I think Donald Trump sees tariffs more as a diplomatic tool than something that actually changes the American economy. I don't think he. I think people said that before he did the tariffs, and then he's done the tariffs now, and now they are changing the internal American economy. And the diplomatic gains don't seem to be there. So I feel like he wants them to be everything, everywhere, all at once. He wants them to simultaneously fix our economy, get rid of income tax, make every ally bend to our will. But they're not doing any of these things, and the second they cause problems in the stock market, he seems to back down. From my local perspective, I think people don't like Trudeau still. Yeah, I mean, I think if he's like, you know what, I'm going to run again, then people would get really mad. I think they'd be like, wait, that's not what we said. That's not what we said. But he has already announced that he's not going to run. He stepped down. So people are tolerating it, and they are getting very nationalist. They're getting pro-Canada. There's a vibe shift. What do you think of Carney? I don't know enough about Mark Carney to tell you, but I do know when I hear the word Carney, I think of a guy that works at a carnival. So it kind of throws me off. I feel like he's going to like have one of those rigged games where I try to throw the ring and I can't land it on the bottle. And he's going to take my points. I'm very worried about that. Actually, I'm a big worried about that. And his opponent's name is PP, which makes me think of a dick. So Canada's got two bad options from my point of view. Do you think... does Canada have nukes? No. Canada is a zero nuclear weapon country. If only they'd planned for their southern neighbor to possibly invade them. Foolish. Foolish. Does America have nukes? Famously, no. Famously, America has zero nuclear weapons. We actually said, no, we don't like that kind of stuff. We famously said, we're going to go without it. Okay, we'll make it work without these terrible weapons. So TIL, if you didn't know, yeah, we are a nuclear weapon free country. FDR said nukes aren't very poggers. That's exactly right. You've studied your history. A student of history, I see. I appreciate that. I have well-read chatters. He said, not very poggers, my lad. And we just didn't make them. We didn't make them. Will there be another Cold War? And if so, with who? If there was another Cold War, and you could say there might be one right now, it would be between America and China. I don't know how you could ask that question and not know that answer. Unless you're talking about a very cold war when we invade Canada, I guess, because it's so cold up there. But an actual Cold War, the likes of which we saw post-World War II, is between U.S. and China, battling for geostrategic supremacy. I think Belgium's a contender. A three-way Cold War between the United States, Belgium, and China. The Belgium sphere of influence. Everyone's worried about what Belgium might do. Not even Europe, just Belgium. Holy fuck. Belgium's a hitter. Belgium, dude. I had some banger waffles the other day. It's a soft power export. Belgian waffles are soft power. If they threaten to cut off Belgian waffle exports to a country, they might fucking fold quickly. Watch the whole map just go Belgian, dude. While we're waffling, they're making the waffles. That's +2. That's fucking +2, dude. Holy fuck, that's fucking true. Until we get the patents for the waffles, Belgium will always be a target. Yeah, they'll always have the leash on us, dude. Lakers playing terrible. They might get an L today. I mean, the Celtics are the fucking champions, dude. They're a good team. They fucking suck and I hate them, but they're a good team. And it's possible Lakers don't win this one. Tell you what, give JJ Redick a fucking chance to study the VOD on this one. They'll come back. They'll come back great. It's an 8-win streak. They can have a loss. Chonkness, thank you for the prime. And also they're traveling like crazy. How do you manage your schedule? Come on, bro. Actually, this reminds me. Somebody, do you guys remember when we did the chat interviews, the job interview questions? The job interviews. And one guy worked at a gas station. His name was Vinny. He worked at a gas station. He stopped the guy from stealing something, even though he was told not to. Vinny. All right, well, Vinny's in school, and he reached out to me, and he said, hey, I have to interview someone, an entrepreneur, who makes more than 300K, is what he said. I don't know why they had that rule. But I have to interview an entrepreneur that makes more than 300K. And he's like, could you please answer some questions for me? And people have asked me this a lot, and I usually just say no, just unfortunately, because, you know, it's just too much. Everyone, I get it from a lot of students who are trying to just get their homework done. But Vinny did something for me. He did the show, and I made a video off that, and I was like, I owe him something. So I was like, yeah, Vinny, I'll do it. And then he sent me, I'm not kidding, like a fucking, like a massive document of questions. I wonder if I can pull it up. He sent me a massive document of fucking questions. So, because I already agreed, I've decided I have to monetize this. So I'm going to do it live. I'm just going to answer the questions live. I just chat GPT it. I'm going to answer the questions live, and I'm going to send him the VOD. And then he will have what he needs for his assignment. We're going to content brand it. I'm not going to do it right now, though, because I have to fucking find the thing. I don't know. I don't even remember. I honestly don't remember his Discord username. It's not Vinny. And I have to look through all these fucking messages now. I'm not going to be able to find it, dude. What a fucking L. But anyway, one of the questions was about that, and so I could answer that question. Actually, wait, I found it. I found it. Should I just do it right now? It's fuck it. All right, I'll just answer the questions right now. I'm not prepared for this. I'm not prepared for this. I hope this isn't a pain in the ass. I mean, I hope it's not. Okay, whatever. All right. Open link. Or copy link. Paste link. Okay. Okay. Here's the fucking questions. Atrioc interview questions. Question 1. What is your current approach to building your personal brand in the middle to late game? You calling me old? What do you mean the middle to late game? What does that mean? What call me old as shit? When you first started, your niche was marketing expertise within the industry by working for big companies such as Twitch and Nvidia. Nvidia spelled wrong. Ever since you pivot to full-time content creation, what are your skills or niche you are now focusing on to grow and stand out? I think that I am very dumb. I think I'm a dumb person with a dumb brain. But I think in the world of streamers, I sometimes feel like that guy on Idiocracy. I feel like nobody in content creation has ever read a fucking book. I truly feel like none of them actually sit down in the middle of the day and read a book. I actually believe that with my heart. I think they really don't. And I do that, and I do read every day. So I feel like the thing I'm bringing is just a tiny bit more rigor than perhaps other people who also are as dumb and brain rotted as me. I don't think I have any unique intelligence outside of that. That's my answer to your question. Actually, I'll say one more side of it. I'll say the other side of it is there are people that do read a lot who are very intelligent, but they don't understand that in order for the medicine to go down, it also has to be entertaining somewhat. You have to say glizzy every now and then. Otherwise, people just get fucking bored because the world is stressful and busy and everyone's got shit to do. So you have to, there is a balance. And that's what I'm trying to strike. I don't always hit it, but I'm working on it. That's my answer to your question. In one of your streams, you mentioned that streamers and normal 9-to-5 workers have their pros and cons. I think what I said was streaming is way harder than a 9-to-5, and 9-to-5 workers have it fucking easy. Coal miners wish every day. No, I'm sorry. Streamers wish every day they could be coal miners. Because then they could finally have a break from the exhaustion. Put this in your assignment. As you said, 9-to-5 workers can clock out after they're done with work, but content creators never mentally clock out, always try to min-max their time to make content. Do you ever feel this constant climb upwards will make you feel burnt out like your peers? Matt, Pat, bro, you put my peers as Matt, Pat, PewDiePie, Tom Scott? Bro, I got like one 150th of their fucking subscribers. That's very kind of you, but let's get fucking real, dude. What is your question? Your question is, listen, I think this is not a content creation issue. This is a owning your own business issue, which is that you're never clocking out. It's just it's like whatever, an entrepreneur issue. If anything, content creators have it slightly easier than other solo founded business because they have a more clear path. You make content. Everything, like YouTube handles the system of delivery and everything. I just have to make the content. So it's not that bad. But still, there is the beautiful aspect of, at least when I used to have a 9-to-5, that like when it's a holiday, when I'm off work, when it's done, I just felt done. I could totally relax. I didn't feel like I was wasting time. When I went on vacation, I didn't feel like I was losing salary. But like anytime you do that as a content creator, you do feel like, oh, you come back, your subs are way down. A lot of your employees are like disinterested or disengaged because you have to constantly keep them focused and moving. So it's something I deal with, but it's not that big of a deal. Ideally, in a business, you'd like to have multiple revenue streams. So far, you have invested in researchers, video game developers, merchandise, sponsorship, Twitch, YouTube, and podcasting. In pursuit of diversification, have you found any particular source to be more effective than the other? And do you have plans to improve on your bottom performers or go all in on the one that's making the most money? The one that makes the most money is I find an editor like Adish, okay? and I make them do a lot of work, but I don't pay them. Does that make sense? So I'm profiting on their labor, but I don't, there's that, it's like a hidden secret that I sort of invented, is I do not pay, it's just employees in general, you shouldn't pay them because then you lose some of your profits. Bro's going to fail his assignment so bad. Please don't include that line in your personal assignment. Ideally in a business, you have multiple revenue streams. Okay, I would say, I do have these multiple revenue streams, but the only one that really matters is YouTube. It dwarfs all of the other one of these by a lot. So I wouldn't say I'm truly diverse. It's not like if my YouTube got shut down, the business doesn't, I can't afford any of my employees. I can't. YouTube is the most profitable by far. Twitch exists because I'm very bad at recording offline. So I very much like to record things live on Twitch with a chat and having a back and forth and a good vibe. That Twitch is a content creator for YouTube. And then I have a decent merch income, but nothing insane. Sponsorships, I have Rocket Money and Huel, long-standing sponsors. They're great, but it's not nothing insane. And then the video game, it did make money. It was profitable. Pretty nicely profitable, but nothing insane. And certainly I'm not a long-term video game developer. I just really enjoyed it. I think that's more for the fun of it. This and the podcast are more for the thrill and the fun of it than for money. Given the vulnerability of a content creator business, what your personal brand is so important, do you feel more aware of the potential consequences of your actions, especially considering the impact of your growing team members? I feel this for I honestly feel this most when I want to be lazy. I felt bad yesterday. Whenever I take a day off, I can afford to take a day off, but if I take a day off, then maybe there's not a clip for Adish, which is his income, or maybe there's not a new video for the 3 main channel editors. So I do feel this more lately. Or I have a researcher who's depending on a project. Or I have a script writer who, I've never used a script writer before, but we hired one for this upcoming Mission Impossible video. I was like, I'm going to try using a script and make it a real YouTube video. I'm like, I have to work on that or that person doesn't have a job. And that person wants to move to LA. So that's where I feel the pressure of what you're saying is navigate the balance between taking calculated risks for growth while mitigating potential negative consequences. I don't know. I think if you overthink that stuff, how do I say this? I think the only one thing I've realized is true about content is if I'm actually interested in it and excited about it, it'll shine through in the content and somebody will like it. That's my North Star. So if I'm doing something that I actually am interested in and care about, whether it's not, maybe my current audience doesn't like it much, but somebody will like it. And if I follow that, then we're fine. So if in real life, I'm not as interested in, for example, I don't know. Here, I'll give you a perfect example. If I wanted to make pure money and just farm money, probably the smartest thing to do was to never stop doing Hitman content. I should have been who's the guy for Trackmania? I'm sorry, Virtual. I should have been Virtual, but for Hitman. If I wanted to make the maximum amount of money, I should have just kept doing Hitman stuff, and because Hitman was my highest performing thing. I could have done a speedrun and explain for every single strategy, every single level. I could have done, but if I was personally, a little less interested in Hitman and more interested in something else, then I think it's happier for me and easier to just make that video about the thing I'm actually interested in and only do Hitman when I care about it rather than try to force it. What elements of your work outside of financial gain provide you with a great sense of fulfillment? Nothing. No, just the money. The only time I get happy at all, I don't even smile off stream. The second I turn the camera off, I frown deeply. And the only time I smile is when I see my bank account. I look at the bank account and I smile. Everything else, dead inside. The greatest sense of fulfillment that drives you to make content. I think the coolest thing is when I hear from somebody that I made I almost don't like when they overdo it because it doesn't sound real. When I made a small positive impact, when someone's like, hey, I did a job interview and I mentioned one thing you said and they seemed to like it and it was cool, then I feel great. When they're like, you saved my life and my dog was going to die and you saved that. And I feel like, all right, well, you're just kind of like, you're assigning too much value to what I did. But when it's a small positive impact, and I get some DMs like this every now and then, that feels great. It feels awesome. Because here's the cool thing. I never got that at any other real job. Nobody at NVIDIA was ever like, I guess occasionally someone would be like, hey, you help me out on that project. But you never get a thing of a stranger being like, wow, frames win games, that really helped me. Like, I was having a tough time last week. I was sick or whatever, and frames win games really, you never get that. So that's one of the cool things. But it's not going to last, you know. It's just it's a unique moment in time. How do you motivate employees to work hard without making them feel stuck in a dead-end job? You mentioned on top of base salary, you give it a portion of revenue. What else do you for workers to make them feel rewarded and keep them without limiting their growth? What do you do to keep employee retention high and also prevent them quitting? The thing I believe in the most is, and I think this is true for all jobs, but real jobs will never do this, is if you get a percentage, not a flat fee, but a percentage, your motivation is like 10 million times higher. If whenever X thing does good, you do good as well, then suddenly it's like, holy fuck, I want to work hard. But in real life, outside of consecration or like in a job, oftentimes working really hard is not only rewarded, it's punished. You just get more responsibility with no more money. No real... and I think the biggest proof is like, just look at what Adish did when I gave him fucking 40% or whatever of the Clips channel. Bro built that whole thing from scratch. I don't think he would have worked that hard if I was like, I'm going to pay you $100 a video, whatever stupid, whatever amount. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think is a percent. If you have a fucking percent, then it feels like if your video bangs, you get more money. You feel, I don't know. I think that's the vibe. That's the idea. But you got to balance it, because if you do only percentage, then sometimes the video flops and they make no money and then they feel bad for working that hard. So you have to balance it with your risk and give them something up front and whatever. It's a balance. How could that work in a hospital? I think a doctor should make more money for every surgery they do. So they should be incentivized to constantly tell patients they need surgeries they don't need. That way they're constantly getting their skills tested. That's my... yeah. Isn't that what they already do, basically? Or it's like the fucking dentists who are incentivized to give a kickback to their orthodontist friend to constantly recommend braces even when this person might not need it. Yeah, I don't know if it works in every industry, bro. I'm just talking about, he asked me about mine. All right, final question. As far as I know, your content is relatively low budget. On average, is there a correlation between video budget and performance? Your most popular videos are your Hitman competitions, which cost prize pool money upwards of thousands of dollars, and most recently, your Marketing Monday video on Luka Doncic trade, which costs next to nothing. What type of video do you see yourself doing more, and which camp do you see yourself in? Increasing production costs or keeping a skeleton crew? You know who would be a great person to ask this question is Ludwig. I think he has more experience with really high budget stuff, and he has a take on it, which is that often it's not worth it. But sometimes it feels so good to him to do it. Or Mr. Beast, maybe. For me, I'm on the extreme end of the spectrum towards low budget, because I think it's mostly about managing risk. I never want one video to like fuck me up or wipe me out or make me have to take a sponsor I don't want to take or whatever. I like the total freedom. Let me give you an example. If somebody made a video and got 1.5 million views, right? But it cost them 50 grand to make, and I get a video that makes 500K views, but it cost me nothing or cost me $2,000 to make, then ROI wise, I actually won. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see that. So if I can do it my way, I just feel like it's safer for all involved, and I can keep my team small and keep them happy and yada, yada, yada. That being said, we spent a lot of money on this podcast. This podcast is deep in the hole. And largely is because of Doug's attitude where he's like, I don't give a shit. I want to do it for fun. And I was like, well, you're right. Me too. So I kind of broke my rule and I put some money in to make that nice set and to like hire a producer. And it's like, if we're going to do this, let's do it right and have fun. And I think that's more of Doug's attitude rubbing off on me. So I don't know. I'm trying both things. With the video game, we put money into that. And I thought for sure, I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you dead honest. When I gave the money for the video game, I thought for sure I would get $0 back. I'll be honest. I'm just being honest with you. I put up quite a bit of money and I thought for sure I would lose it all. Because I just figured, not because I don't think Isto's an incredibly talented developer, not because I didn't think it was a good idea, but because I'm like, there's a million games released every day. Probably it'll do badly. Probably it'll just not get a sale. That's just my guess. I was like, I just assume we're not going to stand out. That's what I thought. So it's a risk, right? It's a risk, but I figured if it's an expensive lesson to learn how to make and publish a video game, it'll be worth it. And we actually made profit, so it was cool. But that's the idea. It was a cost of training, I thought. Okay, I answered your questions. That wasn't so bad. It's kind of interesting. And I get to farm a clip out of it because I'm constantly monetizing. Put that in your assignment. How I turned your questions into content so that I can... Anyway, actually, that was kind of fun to answer. Thanks for asking. And thanks, Vinny, again, for doing the interview. Not as long as I thought. No, it looked big, but it wasn't that bad. Is it a GSS? I think it is a GSS angle. Listen, there's a bunch of Elon stuff I want to talk about, but I'm also officially 100% doing the Tesla Marketing Monday on Monday. It is now, I believe, a masterpiece. No, I shouldn't say that, but it's good. It's a good one. So I'm doing it on Monday. It's ready. It's good to go. Marketing Monday on a Monday. So I don't want to talk about Tesla too much today, because then here's the problem. Here's one thing you got to realize. If you have an editor like Adish, he is constantly hunting for a reason to put Elon or Trump in the title because it gets better clicks, because he makes 40%. So if I were to talk about Elon, this is going to be a clip tomorrow, and then it'll come out the same time around the Marketing Monday. It's going to fuck up the vibe. I have to not mention him. The Labour Party won big in Australia today. Does that contradict your thesis about incumbents getting kicked out? It literally does. If what happens today in Western Australia holds for the broader election, and Labour wins, that will literally invalidate my prediction that Dutton would edge it out. I think what is happening, you can correct me if I'm wrong if you're Australian, but what is happening is similar to Canada. A lot of these countries are seeing what's happening with Trump and souring on the idea of these Trump-light people in their country. And it's giving more motivation to the people against it. Now, that being said, the election is going to be very close. It would not surprise me at all. I'm going to hold my predictions. I'm going to hold with them. I'm not going to back down from my predictions until they happen. I'm happy to admit being wrong, but I still believe Pierre Poilievre and Dutton will win, even though I did say I think the Dutton was incredibly close. I was just talking with an Australian yesterday. I do think Australia, as I've mentioned, is the most we fucking hate all politicians country I've ever met. I think Australians in general fucking hate all politicians. They have no real stance. If they could vote to get them all out, they would do it. I seriously believe that's the vibe, so it's tougher to predict. I really don't know where they're going to fall, but I'm going to stay on my prediction just because I think that's, first of all, intellectual honesty. Let's not fucking change them every 2 seconds. And then secondly, because I remain skeptical that things will change so drastically by the election, but we'll see. I mean, clearly things are changing. But have you talked politics with Josh Man at all? I've talked with Josh Man, but not really about politics. I talked with other ones of the Australians. I hate Peter Dutton. He looks like Voldemort. He does indeed look like Voldemort. If you put on a robe, he would look exactly like Australian Voldemort. What's your favorite NBA team? Come on, bro. Yeah, it's the fucking Celtics, bro. Fucking literally wearing Lakers merch right now. Wait, if the Lakers make this comeback, bro, wait, it's Q4? Wait, Stream East? Stream East? Come on. So you got to check out Stream East. So many ads. I can't show this live.
Is going to see a defender in the gap, and he decides, okay, Luke has given me a cushion. There's almost a prideful nature to that shot. Like, I'm going to make this. I'm a Finals MVP.
100%, especially after Luka hit that last three on him.
It's bottom of the fourth. Wait, I just really... This comeback would be insane. All right, I'm going to cast this, dude. Lakers are down by 7. Lakers are down by 7. 3 attempts by Tatum, I believe. Luka gets the ball. It was a miss. Last 3 minutes, last 30 minutes. I just really want to see. It would be awesome if the Lakers won this. It would be incredible. 9 wins in a row against the defending champions. Possibly best team in the East. Basketball. You don't care. All right. I get you don't care, but I do care. Hey, Big A, YouTube Frog. Since Trump and cut off Europe shit, I started feeling distance to America and American culture, TBH. You're not the only one, brother. I think it's a common feeling in all of the countries being threatened with tariffs right now. I think there's a big anti-American backlash in many European nations, in any North American nations, both of them, in a lot of countries. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, a big part of it too is that it's not just tariffs. So if Trump had said from the beginning, if he stuck with the idea of like, I don't think this is not true, but if he stuck with the idea of we're getting ripped off, we have to balance out the trade. Because we do run a trade deficit. U.S. Imports more than it exports, which is just because we're a massive importing nation. But so if he stuck with that logic, it would be hard for the average person to really wrap their mind around it in some of these countries, or at least they could see where I don't even see where it's coming from. But I'm just saying it would be a consistent strategy. But when you pair that with like, also we're going to invade, or Canada's going to be our 51st state. Greenland's going to be ours. You know what I'm saying? Then it all starts to seem like if you're Canadian, the tariffs are one thing, but then being told you're the 51st state, it's a problem. Anyway, by the way, miss. Bro, this stupid fucking Celtics team, all they do is jack up threes. Just everyone stand around the fucking perimeter, jack up threes over and over. Boring, dude. It's a snoozer fucking team. Year of kindness? There's no year of kindness for the fucking Celtics. It's now 97-105. 8-point difference. 2 minutes left in the fourth. Lakers playing hard defense. Another three gets jacked up. Missed! We're not getting any rebounds. No, 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 no. Stop him! Oh, God. Oh, God. All right, Luka. Sorry, I am. This is not good content. But I don't care, dude. I want to see what happens. No! No! Luka missed the layup. It's almost over. It's almost over. And then we'll do against more Saturdays. Okay. Celtics missed. I can play the sound, right? The sound can't get me in trouble.
Tatum inside Finney Smith and a foul on Finney Smith.
Dude.
And the Lakers' hopes of a magnificent comeback fading away.
Yeah.
So listen to some Wired.
We would need 10 points in a minute.
Get back. Get back.
Luka missed.
That was tough. You call that? You didn't call that. You got it right there. You call that? I think enemies but respect.
They're just chanting beat LA. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Celtics. It's just that we're beginning. This is just drama. This is all scripted. Adam fucking Silver, scripted ass. Scripted this whole fucking thing so that we can have a Lakers Celtics final with a bit of flair to it. All right, 97-108. Minute 10 on the clock. We need an insane generational Lakers run. A truly generational Lakers run. Luka got to drain a three right here. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is he doing? Okay. Did he get fouled? I can hear the whistle. Oh, okay. 99-109, 10-point game. Please, God, if you're up there, don't cure world hunger. Stop with the world hunger. Make the Celtics miss their threes. Nah, this is over. This game's actually fucking over. I'm sorry, it's over. I don't need to watch this anymore. It's over. Just ask for the Lakers to win. J-Mook's in winners finals right now? Wait, can I at least watch J-Mook win? Wait, what's the link to J-Mook playing? Where's J-Mook fucking people up? LeBron went out of the game? Shouldn't even count. Dude, what is this fucking threes and fouls strategy? The Streamies chat is just screaming about how much they hate the Lakers. The Streamies chat is like, I'm laughing at all the Lakers fans. Ha 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 ha. Lakers fakers. Celtics in 5. All right, it's over. Game's over. Game's over. Thank you. Sorry for putting up with that. I had to check. I guess I'm glad I didn't skip stream to watch that like I was going to stream. Cody Schwab. All right, wait. I want to watch J-Mook kick some ass. This is Spark versus Josh, man. I want to watch this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we actually have so many good videos to watch today. This is going to be one of the generational Get Smarter Saturdays. Without further ado, it is time for the return of Get Smarter Saturdays, where we use the greatest knowledge-enhancing tool of all time, YouTube, to make our brains more wrinkled. Our rules are 3. Rule number 1, the video cannot be too long. Rule number 2, the video cannot be too boring. And rule number 3, at the end of the video, we collectively had to have learned something. It can't just be a comedy video. We have to have learned something. Those are the rules of Get Smarter Saturdays. And without further ado, please put your suggestions in chat. I will pull up the Get Smarter Saturdays machine that will start computing all of your submissions, and we will pick something to watch. Like, for example, games that hide their own sequels, Or my coffee was roasted bitter, my bread was burnt to a crisp. Seems really funny. Canada's ridiculous trade barriers with itself seems kind of funny. The Minecraft wiki versus corporate greed. This is our pièce de résistance. Fuck it, we should watch this. All right, well, first, let's see this cosplay, right? Let's see this cosplay. No, wait, let's watch a shorter video first. Let's watch this one. Let's watch what do accountants actually do, and then let's watch this incredible video by Isto about the speedrunning history of Get to Work. I wanted to watch this, and it's a little bit shorter. What do accountants actually do? I have no fucking idea. Why don't they just put all the numbers into ChatGPT and say, figure it out? By the way, can I say, wouldn't the world be a little bit better if we were allowed to lie about our business's health? Like, doesn't it kind of fuck it up when you have to, like, accurately report profit and loss? Because then what if you're losing money? Then it's like, oh, my business is going to die? Wouldn't it be easier if I could just say, no, everything's great? Think about that. If we all just said everything's going well, then isn't it kind of self-fulfilling? Something to think about.
If I know anything, it's that accountants are boring, irrelevant losers. I've never met one
Any accountants in chat? Any accountants in chat? By the way, if you ever read like R accounting on Reddit, they talk about this like about themselves. Accountants are the most self-hating group. That group, that subreddit is always like, I fucking hate being an accountant. It's like trying to find something else, fucking hate this job. It's so self-loathing. I think accounting is cool. It's certainly important, certainly valuable.
enjoyed talking to, and now that I think about it, I've never talked to one, period. However, I do keep abreast of business news, and lately I've noticed an increasing number of reports that the accounting industry is in crisis because nobody wants to be an accountant anymore, which doesn't seem like a crisis to me. I don't give a shit about accountants. But it did get me wondering, is there more to these losers than meets the eye?
Easy accounting job where nobody will check your work and the consequences will be dire only for a big streamer. Go work at Off-Brand. Let me tell you, if you would like a very, very easy accounting job, I got a place for you.
Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, and KPMG. Lately, though, it seems like accounting's reputation is more or less at the bottom of the toilet.
Don't go into accounting.
Don't become a CPA.
If you're gonna get a degree in accounting, don't.
I quit Big Four accounting after only working there for 10 months.
I'm burned out. I'm working too hard.
A shit ton of journal entries.
So if you get an accounting degree, are you going to inevitably turn into a loser? That's a pretty fair question.
In the last 15 years, the number of students graduating...
Just getting the degree should not make you a loser. That's crazy. It's so... Wait, I'm gonna... I want to make sure that it's not lagging. The FPS is kind of down. So let's go to Firefox, shall we? Cheers, my friends. I hope this isn't just shitting on accountants. Because I sincerely think
if I know it,
good at accounting is extremely important to a business. A business, they act like they don't want it or care about it, but only because it's incredibly important.
I quit Big Four accounting after only working there for 10 months.
I'm burned out. I'm working too hard.
A shit ton of journal entries.
So if you get an accounting degree, are you going to inevitably turn into a loser? That's a pretty fair question.
In the last 15 years, the number of students graduating with an accounting degree has been in a steady downward trend. Meanwhile, the number of grads who then sit for the CPA exam has also declined. By the way, CPA stands for Certified Poo-Tang Agent.
Poontang.
Just kidding, it stands for Certified Public Accountant, and it's the degree you get when you pass the exam to become a licensed accountant.
Business would be pretty much a farce without the accountants and the auditors who are keeping the records straight and making sure that what you see as financial reports is accurate, complete, relevant, and reliable.
Stephen Kochelmeyer is the department chair of what's widely considered to be the best accounting school in the country, UT Austin. Hook 'em!
Accountants, which are viewed to be dinosaurs in a bricks and mortar era, were not that highly respected. And then came about 40 or 50 scandals and frauds, Enron, Realcom, we could go on and on and on. And all of a sudden people realize, hey, there might be a reason why we need these accountable.
Do you guys think that big accountants framed Enron because they realized accountants were all losers and not necessary? So all of the fucking accountants teamed up to try and make it seem like it was fraud? I agree. I don't know if I said it or you said it, but I agree. I think you guys are on the right track.
Ability guys.
So it seems like accounting provides a reassuring level of stability, not just for the economy at large, but also as a career that doesn't go bye-bye every time there's a recession. It's tragic. It seems as though a lot of people have truly forgotten how vital these fiscal first responders really are. Fortunately, my appreciation for accounting has never wavered. Not once.
Yeah, the shortage is real. The pipeline challenge is real.
It seems to be industry-wide. The large companies are struggling, the smaller ones are struggling, the public sector is struggling.
Interesting you say that, Courtney, because while the wife and I were checking the Bureau of Labor statistics over a snifter of cognac last night, we did notice that there are 200,000 fewer accountants working today than there were 5 years ago, the impact of which can be seen in companies' financial statements.
Companies have been filing their financial statements late because they don't have enough accounting staff. There's also been an increase in misstatements in recent years, and there's also been a rise in audit deficiencies.
And fraud! Just look at fucking Carvana! You think they have real accountants on that staff? Carvana's not the only one, dude. There's some widespread corporate financial fraud in this era. And when the tide goes out, they're all swimming naked, bro. Flirt, I'll go in with them. You're going to swim with a naked corporate entity. It's not as sexy as it sounds. They're just a collection of, I don't know, rules and laws around doing business.
There are reasons for that besides the accounting shortage, but it's certainly a contributing factor.
Hi everybody, it's me, Dan Toomey, and today I want to really quickly talk to you about something that I take very seriously. Online security. Now obviously as a sexual symbol, people are always trying to get my data, steal my personal information, use my identity, yada yada yada, all that stuff. And that's why I use Surfshark's VPN. Here, let's just pull up their website and check out some of these features. Great, so again,
I'm gonna skip this, but I'm gonna tell you my own ad for Surfshark. So, and if you buy it, it's for Dan Toomey. I required a VPN for the first time recently because I wanted to watch a Lakers game. And so I bought the YouTube NBA League Pass. And then when I tried to watch the game, it said I couldn't watch the game in my own market. And I was like, well, I remember seeing this in the fucking Drew Gooden video. So all I have to do is get a VPN. So then I got a VPN, and then I tried to set it up, and then it wouldn't let me watch it because it said I was like hiding my location, like it fucking knew. So then I got pissed off and I canceled the VPN. I canceled the fucking YouTube NBA package. And then I went on Stream East. All in all, I lost, I don't know, $40 or something. And I didn't get shit. Is that a good ad for this? Finish the ad.
Privacy and security, perhaps my biggest priority. Surfshark protects me 24/7, wherever I go, online, keeping my info and data out of data breaches, blocking unauthorized attempts to access my webcam, blocking cookie pop-ups, and so on and so forth. Look at all of this. You can change your IP address to be in any country, so you can always access the stuff you...
Piracy is fundamentally a service problem. I agree with that quote from Gabe Newell. I think there's a little bit of roughness around the edges. Some people just love pirating things, and some people are, just don't want to pay. Cost is part of it. But I do think there's a large amount of people like me who would be happy to pay if it was quick, easy, direct. I can just buy what I want. But those rules that make it impossible force you into piracy.
Want to watch, even if it's blocked where you are. So if you care about privacy like I do, then I insist you check out Surfshark. There's no risk to trying it, and right now they're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. Plus, if you go to surfshark.com/goodwork, you get 4 extra months. This is serious stuff, folks. Think about it. One cause of the shortage is the fact that many accountants are goddamn old people. According to the American Institute of CPAs, about half of their members are over the age of 50. And for any 20-year-olds out there, being 50 years old is like being 10,000 years old. Another cause is that in comparison to other types of professions that business major types can line up after graduation, accounting doesn't pay that well. Most starting pay rates for CPAs tend to be somewhere between 40 and 80 G's, depending on where you work, which isn't as much as the pledge master who likes paddling you too much now makes a Goldman.
If a business undergraduate student at a good business school like Texas can get something knocking on the door, if not exceeding a 6-figure salary straight out of the gate, in finance or high tech, it's hard to say, well, why don't you take this $70,000 offer in accounting instead? And by the way, you're going to have to take this badass exam called the CPA exam to become certified.
Indeed, accountant school ain't nothing to fuck with. Students not only have to complete 5 years of school to get 150 credit hours, as opposed to 4 years for most.
I did not know this. You have to do 5 years of college to become an accountant? You have to pay for a whole nother year? More student loans?
Degrees, but they also have to complete the rigorous certified Poo-Tang agent exam. And once you've done that, well, you'll be looking down the barrel of a pretty intense workload, especially during something called busy season when everyone's looking to complete their audits, tax filings, compliance deadlines, and all that jazz.
There has definitely been some noise in the system around the accounting profession and working way too much. There's too many hours. I'm overworked. I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm on the wheel. I got to get out of the rat race. All of those things.
Now, there are calls from across the industry to make it a little easier to get your accounting license. These include reducing the number of credit hours down to 4 years of schooling while emphasizing work experience, something that this state called Ohio has already done. Others believe that the shortage provides a wake-up call for big business to cough up the
just raise the salaries,
and raise
right?
accounting salaries.
Our friends in the business community, if they want more of us accounting guys and they want more people to say, hey, that major is for me, they need to up the ante a little bit.
We need to up the ante. We need to sex it up a bit.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But none of these new proposals address perhaps the most impactful element that's pushing kids away from accounting, which I've been subtly hinting at. We all think it's lame as hell.
Historically, accountants haven't been marketers.
We don't do a great job of marketing ourselves.
It's not.
What can I say? What can I say, dude? It ain't called Accounting Tuesday. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Little bit snoozer. What can I say, bro? There's a little bit of a difference for marketing.
The coolest thing.
The image of accountants tend to be, sitting behind their spreadsheets.
A green visor on and smoking a cigarette with a desk with a lamp.
Not being so much extroverted or having good communication skills, etc.
There aren't movies where Leonardo DiCaprio is a cool.
There is a movie with an accountant. Isn't the accountant with Ben Affleck and he plays a really, really, really autistic guy? who like doesn't smile and kills people. They talk about it? Yeah, okay. All right. Pre-watch.
Cool accountant.
Very few movies that talk about accountants and what they do.
I hear accountant and I think of Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters, the nerdy little guy with the squeaky voice.
You might be auditing, one thing or another, but is that necessarily sexy? Is any of this really sexy?
Amongst the swath of accountants that the Good Work investigative news team spoke to for this report, 100% of them cited accounting's reputation as the primary reason why their industry is bleeding recruits. And it's clear that for society to revive the accounting profession, what's needed is a complete makeover of the...
Okay, but I don't know. I would say... doesn't that seem kind of silly? You know what I'm saying? You know what's really sexy is having a fucking stable, great job that you enjoy with your family. I mean, if the pay was better, I don't think that matters at all. I think the pay is a little low, especially for all the work. But like whether or not the media, you know what I'm saying? They're like plumbers on a sexy job. There's plenty of happy plumbers who will own their own local business, make tons of money. You know what I'm saying? Like there's plenty of jobs that aren't stereotypically sexy that are probably way better and way more stable. In fact, I think the sexiness of a job is probably a predictor that you're going to be underpaid or that it's going to be more difficult because there's a ton of competition. I'll give you an example. One of the most commonly started businesses is restaurant. It's one of the sexiest things to own. Restaurant and nightclub. Both those things are like the very common started business. And they fail like 95% of the time, more than that, maybe 98. And because people have this idea of like this romantic idea of how fun it'll be to own a restaurant or own a nightclub. And it turns out it's a huge pain in the ass. There's a ton of competition. You don't make a lot of money. So I would say like basing your career off what you think is the sexiest is probably the bad idea. And if you have a knack for accounting and being very good at it, you could probably make a great living. I mean, you could probably be super successful if you were a top accountant. But I think the base pay is a problem for sure. I mean, I'll even say it sounds weird now because NVIDIA has now become well known and the stock is so high. Everyone's like, oh, NVIDIA would be cool to work there. But when I took the NVIDIA job, it was not sexy. Everyone in my life, including Ari, including my family, including my friends, told me to go to Blizzard. Blizzard was the sexy job. I had an offer from Blizzard, offer from NVIDIA. NVIDIA was completely unknown. People that I told about it who weren't hardcore gamers had no idea what it was. And I took it because I thought it was a, not only did it have slightly higher pay, not really much higher, but slightly higher, but like the boss was a serious dude. The boss was like an actual dude I could learn something from. And the other guy was like, yeah, we play games at the office. It's so fun, bro. It just seemed way more. So I don't know. I think that's a situation where I did take a quote unquote less sexy job. Yuck, fun at the office. There's nothing wrong with fun at the office, but I had just left Twitch where fun at the office turned out to be not everything it was cracked up to be. You know, where the idea of fun at the office and like, whoa, we have snacks in a game room turned out to be kind of like a reason to get you to stay there 24/7 and live and breathe the office culture. And it led to a lot of like internal office drama and, you know, and I was kind of like, whoa, wouldn't it be cool to like work for a really serious company and like learn my shit and be good at it and like, you know, get paid well and be respected. Like that's what I was kind of craving. And that's why I took the NVIDIA against. I'm not telling you, I'm not exaggerating. Nobody in my life told me to go to NVIDIA. I asked everybody, Stans, everybody, all my friends, everybody told me to go to Blizzard. They said Blizzard would be better. I'm so glad I didn't do it.
Industry, Princess Diary style, because in the course of this lengthy investigation, I must admit that my heart for accounting has grown by 10 Grinches. +2.
I've been able to work for organizations that did charitable work that was important for me. I was able to be at a college helping other people get educated, all again because I was in accounting. Accounting ends up being one of those few professions where whatever area you're interested in, there's a place for you if you're an accountant.
If there's a shortage of accountants, the SEC, the IRS...
Dude, why don't you just graduate from business school, accounting degree, get a CPA, but make sure you always graduate and start working right after tax season. Okay, so you start working in fucking June, okay? Then you work all the way up until March, and then you quit. You quit for 3-4 months and start again. Or, I don't know, get sick or something, whatever. Just always dodge accounting. Dodge the actual hard part of the year. Busy starts in goddamn January? All right. Well, I tried. I tried to help you out.
And most external stakeholders will not be able to trust the numbers anymore, which could cause potentially financial ruin for many people.
You know, you want to be paid like a business professional, but do work that benefits society. Be an accountant, because it is as close as I've come to blending a broader benefit.
Dude, you know what we really need is forensic accountants in the government. Like in the SEC and stuff. I want to see someone investigate Carvana. There's been no real fucking investigation. No, not Doge. Not 24-year-old Elon Musk stans who've never had sex. I want like a respected senior accountant in the SEC who can go into a company like Carvana and really break down the books, because I don't trust their numbers. I do not trust them. Many people don't, but they just keep publishing them and no one can fucking verify. And it's a requirement they've had sex. They need to have had sex. Bring me pictures. Fuck, I'm out.
Society with a business degree.
Now, this isn't to say that there haven't been a few valiant attempts to rehab accounting's image before. From Ben Affleck playing an autistic action hero in The Accountant to the financial edutainment thriller Green Shades by our very own Greg D. Adams, CPA.
Green Shades is a darkly humorous international crime thriller where your protagonist, Dex McCord, is an accountant, or in this case, actually it's an auditor, who sends his friend to India to do a simple audit, and when his friend comes back...
Is this what it's like, accountants? Is this like half of your job is like dodging international assassins and like setting up... Okay, that's pretty cool, actually. You know what show has an accountant as sort of the important lead job was Ozarks. Ozarks kind of make it seem cool. With Jason Bateman as like this fucking incredible money launderer / accountant. He's kind of like... But they do make him seem very depressed and sad, so...
To Australia, his body is found washed up on the northern beaches of Sydney. And when McCord goes to the funeral, he starts to unravel the facts that, hey, this was not a surfing accident like the police said. This was a reason that he was murdered. But be careful. I have to warn you, Green Shades has a little bit of violence in there, some sexual tension, and some accounting equations.
Green Shades, baby.
Now, I am pleased to report we have some good news on the accounting sucks front. This past year's enrollment numbers are promising and might hint at an easing of the shortage. Nonetheless, my sources say we are far from out of the woods, and I do think it may very well be time for more extreme measures.
There is a negative stereotype that's just undeniable about the word accounting. I almost wish sometimes I could just change the name.
Let's fucking do it, Steve. Audit monsters, math Rambos, number nips.
No, terrible.
Tax masters.
Terrible.
I mean, come on, this is easy.
Terrible.
There
They're all
are
bad.
dozens of better
They're all
options
bad.
than what you have right now. And while we're at it, instead of Ben Affleck, why don't we cast someone else who'd be more believable as an unsocial dweeb who's unrealistically good at firing guns? Do this And I promise you'd get more accountants in the door. It's for the good of the industry, but more importantly, the good of the business world. For good work, and for accountants everywhere, I'm Dan Toomey.
That was good. I think it's an important discussion. But I also know, like, based on supply and demand, right? Right as we think accounting is dead as a profession is when it's going to start getting paid more and everyone's going to want to be an accountant. And then by the time they flood in, the supply will be too high and then it'll be dead again. This is how every profession works. There's too many coders right now, and then everyone's going to fucking do something else, and then we're going to have too few new coders. And you know what I'm saying? It's all, it's a wave. It's a sine wave.
There's a lot of adventures that go on with our protagonist, including some sticky situations that he gets caught in, and one in particular where he even has to jump off a cliff to escape bullets from. You meet a woman named Kendall Cove. She was an accountant, and then on the side she worked at a surf shop. So then she became a dive instructor and started her own company, but she had that basic financial knowledge as an accountant to expand that business, and of course meet Dex McCord during his adventures.
On that note, Greg, are we going to see a Green Shades 2 anytime soon?
You may. This first book took me a long time to write, but it seems to be flowing better as I'm thinking of Green Shades 2.
Holy shit, Green Shades 2. I've been waiting for a sequel since I heard about Green Shades 1. Good video. Good fucking video. Good video. Thanks, Dan Toomey. Let's watch this fucking cosplay video. Does anyone have it? I want to see this Get to Work cosplay, and then I want to watch Isto's masterpiece. I want to watch Isto's masterpiece. Where is Isto's masterpiece? This is when public art goes wrong and it's just a gigantic butt plug or something. What the fuck is this? This is definitely like New Zealand or Australia or something. This is some fucking, this wasn't in America. Why it sucked to be a pirate. Let's watch the full Lemonade Stand podcast. That'd be fucking awesome. All right, well, I'll go to Isto's right now. If I can't find this thing, we'll watch it after, I guess. But let's watch Isto's. I really want to watch Isto's video. I think this is going to be incredible. He's been working on it basically since the game came out. He's been working on this video. And I think it's his masterpiece. This is the Doinkler.
On December 2nd,
he created a video about the speedrunning competition for the Rage game, Get to Work. Wait, let's get it in Firefox. And apparently the videos, I mean, the comments are crazy. Everyone says like fucking super great. So let's watch it.
Coming back to this video. On December 2nd, we released our third commercial game, Get to Work.
Okay.
A rage game about climbing the corporate ladder on rollerblades that rewards hitting clean jumps, smooth lines, and precision.
Sheesh.
And punishes, well, pretty well every mistake.
Sheesh.
And during our development, playtesters kept saying one thing. I can't wait to see the speedrun of this game. And holy they were right.
I think it would be better if it focused on the real speedrunning match between me and Squeaks. I understand that other people did some stuff here and there, but like it feels like me and Squeaks had the real rivalry, the real skill.
Number of jaw-dropping, brain-busting strats the runners came up with during our speedrun competition
Didn't you lose?
was beyond our wildest expectations.
This is rewriting history. I lost a show match with Squeaks, but I have the higher PB between us. My time is better than his time. So I am the winner by all speedrunning laws. 5-0? No, 5-0 in a show match. Okay, I lost the All-Star game. I won the fucking NBA championship. Do you know what I'm saying? Plus, we don't talk about this. but my house is on fire. Okay? The LA fire was started possibly by Squeaks or one of his minions or agents, and everything was burning down. So I couldn't do a real run.
What in the f am I watching?
This is the story of how speedrunners broke our rage game, Get to Work. Now, before I dive in, this video contains a ton of spoilers. So if you plan on playing the game, I'd strongly suggest trying it first and then coming back to this video.
Spoilers for what?
Here we go. The goal of Get to Work is to reach the top. You start in your parents' basement, work your way through various jobs, and end up as CEO.
Yeah!
Now, Get to Work is a hard game. Even the first section of the game, which is used to teach you the main mechanics, caused people to struggle.
Dude, it's not. I don't. Okay.
And as you progress through the game only gets harder.
No! The pipe! No! Dude, this.
And harder.
Yikes, Ludwig!
And harder.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no!
And of the 8% of people who actually beat the game, it usually takes them anywhere from 8
to embezzlement.
What a horrendous fall.
All of your hard work has go!
To 15 hours.
Yeah!
Credit would
see, look at that. He's the slowest one of all content creators. He's the slowest one. 15 hours. You got 5-0 by him? It's called marketing, little bro. Sorry, you don't know. Yeah, I threw the match to Squeaks to make him feel better about his 15-hour time.
Credit is due. Out of all the big streamers, Ludwig beat the game the fastest in 5 hours and 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yes!
That's crazy.
And let me tell you, even as the dev of the game, that's an incredibly impressive time. But speedrunners are built a little different. Day one was the Wild West. You see, we were holding a speedrun competition for the fastest times after days 1, 3, and 10. And on day 1, nobody had seen or played the game, so everyone was really just trying to get a feel for the mechanics.
Oh, did you see that? Oh my God! The warehouse manager all is mine!
Woo! Beat the game for the first time and get a good first run. Dan Corona, a variety streamer known for speedrunning Pogo Stuck, was one of the first runners to submit a competitive time.
Okay.
For context, Dan beat the game for the first time in under 3 hours.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like I said, speedrunners are built different.
Yeah, I guess
now,
we
this
are.
run has no major skips, but acts as a good baseline for all future runs.
Oh, what a cool scene.
This is the entire run from start to finish. And to make it easier to digest, I've split the run into 6 major sections. These sections each have multiple checkpoints, which is what you can see in the built-in speedrun timer we included in the game.
For sure.
The first section of the game is applying for jobs. It's meant to be a massive parkade with very large, forgiving jumps. Once you land your first interview, you're in the pendulum section. These little swinging platforms are called pendulums, and if you hit them at the right angle, they launch you nicely into the air.
I call them orange grippers. And since I'm a developer on the game, I guess my interpretation is equally valid. So they're called orange grippers.
Individually, with some good timing, they're pretty easy to hit, but as we'll see in later runs, chaining them together is very hard. Dan does it at a casual pace, but completes it with no mistakes, and ends up as a warehouse trainee. This section is relatively straightforward, with several jumps used to teach new players how to maneuver, and it quickly brings...
Donald Trump's feet are also called that. Okay, dude. Okay, dude.
Brings you into the first big section of the game, the warehouse. The warehouse is a massive open structure with lots of jumps and the first slingshot, a grabbable platform that launches the player forward.
Yep.
Dan
Not
doesn't
even
use
using
any
Atrioc
skips
scripts.
and continues to work his way through the warehouse following the normal path.
This is
and
a
as
cool
you can see,
scene.
the red lines, which indicate his route, cross over a lot. And between the various slingshots, the open jumps that weave back and forth, and the sheer speed you can get from all of the elements, you can see there's a lot of room for improvement. Bumper skip. This was obviously incredibly intentional. Doesn't do the second part.
Wait a minute. I'm in this video. I forgot. I'm in this video. Why do I look like so young and full of life? This was filmed like a month ago. Why do I look fucking old as shit right here? And I look fucking... This is so different. It's like so recent. Why am I not wearing a hat? The second...
Bumper skip. This was obviously incredibly intentional. Doesn't do the second part.
It doesn't even do the second part. Even I do that.
Yeah.
I haven't even beat the game yet.
Yeah. Dan right now is just running on pure, solid, fundamental mechanics. And as you can see, as this video keeps going, the room is really big and really open. And he moves into what I call the A-frame section. These black textured A-shaped obstacles are quite tricky and require a great deal of precision. But Dan makes it through into the unpaid intern section where he struggles for a good solid 3 minutes.
Yikes.
The grinders are just trying to like get a solid no mistakes time, no big falls. Dude, it's funny, there's a lot of mistakes too. He's like, fucking...
But then he does his first skip. This is the 4 floors, and the normal route has you going around and around, gaining height each time.
Yeah.
But what's cool about this section is that it takes you back to the same jump every time. But since you gain height, you can jump higher every lap, which is how you climb up the 4 floors. And between you and me, it's definitely one of the levels I'm most proud of. Come on, that's kind of a cool idea.
It's also the first level he made. He made 4 floors before we even had the rest of anything. It was like one of the test levels when we were like, should we even do this as the game? Pretty cool.
Anyway, Dan figures out if you launch off the oval at the perfect angle, you can get more speed.
Floor 3 skip.
And skip a floor.
Easy
After
clap.
beating the rest of the level, he moves on to a new section I haven't shown yet, the Junior Financial Analyst section. This is roughly the halfway point and introduces one of my favorite level features, the giant cogs. These massive
Fucking hate cogs.
spin around, and when you grab onto them and release, they fling you into the air. They're a ton of fun and
Fuck
allow us to create
cogs.
a bigger,
Back
more
to
open
cogs.
section than any other level so far. And after traversing all the way through, you end up at the infamous bumper section.
I love this part.
This is the section that
This is the
destroys
coolest section.
casual players.
Okay, everyone was saying there was a skip here. Webby, you can skip this whole area. It's like bait. All right, say goodbye to the ramp, everybody. Chat, wave. We're not going to see that ramp ever again. What did I do? Wave, chat. Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Now, bless his heart, even with diagrams and strategic planning, it took popular streamer Pay Money Wubby an hour and 45 minutes to get through this section, which is very normal. And let me say, it was damn entertaining to see him conquer this section.
Did I literally think Wubby's playthrough was the single best playthrough of the whole game. I mean, I watched everybody play it. His was the best. It was so funny. It was so emotional. He would get highs, lows, scream. He did the bonus section. This was great. It was awesome.
There are speedrunners who are like, yeah, I'll just go do it in 2 minutes. I'll be back up.
Actually, Dan does it in 1 minute and 58, but potato. And what's really crazy is he does it without any crazy skips and makes a couple of mistakes along the way. But again, it's making great time.
Easy.
And moves in to middle management. In my opinion, this is where the difficulty really starts to ramp up. If you look at middle management and you're confused about where to go, well, that's because this section is intentionally designed to be a bit of a maze. The goal is to slowly work your way up the pyramid, but the normal player experience has a lot more looking around.
Not again.
Crying. Yelling.
Okay.
More yelling.
That's crazy!
And angry.
This game blows. This game blows.
But if you complete the normal route with no mistakes like Dan does, you conquer the maze that is middle management in 2 minutes and 25 seconds and move on to the second part of middle management that we call the giant slope. This section has you traversing jumps back and forth as you climb up to become department head and takes you into the last middle management section where Dan introduces the first truly major skip of the game. Now, normally, to beat the final section of middle management, you have to hit some very tricky, precise jumps that loop you around.
Yeah, I did this one time
and then
ever.
hit a big final jump.
It's too hard.
And if you screw up, we'll punish you severely and drop you all the way down.
Oh, no. I didn't know Connor did that.
But instead of doing the big full loop,
what a
he just
dumbass.
skips it. Let me explain. This is the wall bounce skip. My intention with this level was for the player to drive up to it, attempt to grab it, but realize that it's just out of reach. And to be clear, every player tries to hit the wall and get up. We knew about this. And so what Dan does is not easy, but at the perfect angle and speed, he bounces off the wall and triggers the hang mechanic.
Kind of the
This
Atrioc skip,
is
really.
the hang mechanic. When you grab onto a lower part of a ledge, the character enters ragdoll mode. And by waving the joystick around, you can flop around and come to terms with all of the progress you're about to lose when you let go. Unless, of course, your game mysteriously crashes.
The game crashed now. This is weird. Yeah, is it my driver's chair? Is it a patch or something?
Fuck off. Fuck off, XQC.
However, if you time your flop properly, the momentum will give you a tiny bit of an upward lift, allowing you to recover from platforms.
Let's go.
Now, this mechanic is intentionally janky. Flopping the character is fairly unintuitive, making
funny.
recovery more difficult. But with good practice, you can really get some decent height.
Oh my god, I'm smelling it.
Now you can tell Dan is still learning the mechanic since it's day one, but with the perfect bounce, he can just barely trigger the hang grab, use that fling to fling himself up, shaving off 2 full minutes of regular run, taking him straight into the final section. Now, if the beginning of the game was a difficulty of 1 and middle management was a 5, the final section is a 20. This is where we take the gloves off and where most new players spend anywhere from 50 to 70% of their playtime.
This is where most new players quit. I'll be honest with you. This is where most Chinese players uninstall the game. And then they refund it and then they leave a bad review. This is honestly the last part of the game was a run killer for a lot of people.
This section is truly difficult. Even our narrator, CDog VA, who reached the final section in 3.5 hours, which is fast, struggled with this section.
I'm the CEO. It's my company. I ousted everyone. I put the board of directors in power. They're mine.
Oh no!
No!
Oh no!
I really thought I had that.
I didn't know he
What are
did
the
that.
odds that we failed twice, chat?
No, not again!
Yes, we made a custom.
Oh, his face is actually sad the second time. The second time is bad. Dude, that's so much time.
Monkey skin just for him, and no, you won't be able to get it. Now, the section is comprised of 3 smaller rooms, and you have to jump between building to building to get to the next part. Every time you have to cross, you have to do so via this double half-oval jump. And because there are 3 rooms, you have to do this jump 3 full times. And this jump is hard. After missing twice, Dan clutches up and rips through the rest of the levels.
Yes.
Okay.
With no mistakes, and completes the game.
No, it's W.
W.
In an incredible time of 31:51, solidifying himself as the best speedrunner for the day 1 competition.
That's solid. That's solid.
Easy clap.
Glitchless.
Not better than my PB, but no big deal.
I'm just kidding. Speedrunners are crazy. We're just getting started for day 1.
Dan didn't win?
Dan did not win.
Oh, I thought Dan won.
Motherfucker, Dan wasn't even close.
This is how fucking stupid I am. I was literally thinking the exact same thing in my head right now. He's already told me this, and in my head I was thinking, Dan, I thought Dan didn't win. That's fucking awesome.
You see, while Dan was grinding for a good time, there were a plethora of other runners exploring the game in...
Okay, so it seems like you can climb corners.
I remember this.
I clipped out of bounds.
more creative ways.
I remember
I've
this.
clipped out of bounds.
One creative runner by the name of Cividit had sent us a run with a very interesting discovery. Now, the first part of his run isn't particularly interesting. In fact, he does no skips in the run, and it takes him 16 minutes to get to the unpaid internship. And for context, Dan Corona was
What's up,
here
Cividit?
in 7 minutes. But in Cividit's submission form, he accidentally wrote that he got a time of 17:51, which makes no sense. Okay, I take that back. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Is there a
I
patch
saw
notes
this.
yet?
Don't ask for patch notes, bitch. Holy, that's a shortcut.
This is the jump pad ragdoll skip, and it's obviously pretty OP. Now, the rules of the competition had been pretty clear, that something as broken as this wouldn't be allowed since it would ruin any skill in the game.
Yeah.
And you can see that he messes up the skip a couple of times, and even still manages to skip all the way to the top.
That's crazy.
Luckily, Cividit reached out very early on before he had committed to learning the skip. But I asked him to record
That's
a run
crazy.
with the skip anyway, because let's be real, this bug is hilarious. And very shortly after, other runners like Small Ant found the jump head bug.
Okay. Whoa, we got it! Holy!
By this point, it's getting late in the day, and several runners have started to grind the game, trying
Yeah, that
to
was
beat Dan
fun.
Corona's time.
Good grind time.
Spectacore had discovered in his first playthrough that by grabbing onto certain physics-based items, it would, on rare occasion, cause the player's collider to freak out, launching them into the air.
Plan is simple.
Unfortunately, after an hour of trying to make it work, it ended up being too hard to reproduce.
Put on my suit. Oh, I'm outside the map.
We also probably would have banned it, so sorry, Spectacore. But despite that being a flop, he discovered one of the most important skips of the day.
Spectacore
This
invented a
is
skip?
the interview section, and I glossed over it because after the runners learned about this skip, no one ever runs it again. For normal players, you have to go through these ovals that become increasingly tighter and tighter until you reach
The
the top,
Spectacore
where you have to
skip?
hit a final, incredibly tight oval to complete the unpaid intern section. But a Spectacore discovers that as you're coming around the 4th floor, if you veer left, you can land on this recovery section.
I gotta know what this is. Oh, it is a skip.
And with this skip, you're right at the top, taking you straight to the
I didn't know
final
he was the first one to
tightrope
do
oval,
that.
saving you at least 30 seconds, if not more. And with that, a Spectacore starts grinding the game.
That's pretty
Now,
sick.
after 3 heartbreaking runs,
We got time for one more run.
Oh,
all
God.
with promise to go sub 30,
Oh,
Nice,
God.
dude. We got time for like one more good run.
and all ending in the last 2 sections,
Oh, no!
a Spectacore had to concede and let other runners like Frostkiller take the reins. Who
Sad.
submitted his run at 5 a.m. Frostkiller introduced 3 major skips, plus a couple of minor ones that really pushed the run forward.
Okay.
Now, because of his low frame rate, his submission is a little nauseating to watch, so I've recreated it at 60 frames per second and kept his times up
based.
in the top left. His first 2 sections were relatively standard, so we're gonna skip straight to the warehouse, where he's a full minute ahead just from clean execution, and pulls off the warehouse manager skip. By
Yes,
hitting
sir.
the jump perfectly, you
Atrioc
get
skip.
enough speed to land to the left, saving 20 full seconds. Next, he heads to the unpaid intern section and introduces one of his biggest skips in the run. After doing his first full loop, he uses this berm to skip up to the 2nd floor, which gives him enough speed to jump all the way to the 4th floor. Meaning, instead of doing 3 laps like Dan had to do, he only has to do 2 laps. And now, he
Yeah,
can
very
use
nice.
the Spectacore skip to shave a full 5 minutes off of Dan Corona's time.
Oh, my God.
That's wild. But Frostkiller isn't done. Midway through the cog section, Frostkiller is about to complete the
Frostkiller,
first
my
major
goat.
part, which has you hitting a massive jump that takes you into the company
Wine mixer skip?
But instead, he flings with perfect precision to the right and
what?
skips this big roundabout loop, saving him 15 seconds
Oh,
as he
shit. I
proceeds
never knew about that
into
skip.
the bumpers.
That's
where he's the
pre-wine
first
mixer.
runner to successfully complete my pro gamers only route. Since the falls in the bumpers are so punishing, we thought it'd be kind of cheeky to add a much faster but more difficult route. And most people who try it, pro gamers only, end up regretting it.
Granny?
But he pulls it off flawlessly on day 1, which is insane, and allows him to move on to middle management well ahead of Dan, where he
Okay.
introduces his final skip. In the pyramid section, the normal route is incredibly windy, and one particular curve right here is an absolute run killer.
Yeah.
おい、じじ。ちょっと待って、本当にじじ。勘弁。
But instead of going right and winding all the way through the pyramid, well, it turns out, with the right angle and speed, you can just go left. Now, Dan
Easy.
also used this skip, but to my knowledge, either Frostkiller
Get the
or
grind
Small Ant
set.
found the skip, so I just included it in this run.
I think
you
it's
can
Small
see
Ant
just
skip.
how big of a skip this is.
All
And with
skips for a
no
minute by
other
Small
new
Ant are me.
innovations up his sleeve, all he has to do is execute. And despite having a slower department head and vice president, Frostkiller crushes Dan Corona's time with a 23:48, shaving off 8 minutes
That's
and
incredible.
3 seconds.
It's incredible
And
for
if
day
you look
1.
at a breakdown of the 2 runs, you can see how big of a time save these
Still not
skips
faster
had
than me,
on
but-
the run, and they found them on the first day. It's so impressive. And what's so crazy is if you look at the achievements of the game, we created a secret achievement for players who beat the game in under 30 minutes, thinking that players maybe one day would break sub 30. And in the first day, Frostkiller went sub 25. But what's even more mind-blowing is the fact that Frostkiller didn't win. Aha, I did it again. These speedrunners are crazy. The winner of day 1 came out of nowhere and submitted a run with an hour left. What's so interesting is that for most of his run, Karem doesn't innovate from Frostkiller at all.
He doesn't even go for my skip. Yo!
And definitely leaves some room for improvement in his execution.
Does he do the bumper? Does he do the bumper? Uh-huh.
Nice and slow. He doesn't even rip.
Oh, he does do it. He does do it.
And in fact, doesn't know about 3 big skips that Frostkiller uses. Good for him.
Okay, good for him.
Doesn't skip left.
Doesn't skip left.
Damn, actually crazy.
He doesn't even go for the skip? Really?
Smollett's
It's like
judging
a
him.
10-second time save. No way. They don't even go for the cog jump. Even
No
the lower
wine
cog,
mixer?
which is totally free every run.
But by having a nearly perfect run.
Bro just doesn't make any mistakes.
It's like no screw-ups. It's a very clean.
Karem is only 16 seconds behind Frostkiller when he enters the bumpers.
Okay, how's he do this?
Oh, he just wings it. Oh my god. Okay, pro gamer.
Straight down.
Does he pull it
Okay.
off? No, he just
No,
doesn't
not even,
bother.
huh?
Go straight for this one. I mean, this one is really nice and clean and reliable.
Very, very safe. Yeah, the intention is for people to discover it. That's why the sight lines are like lined up so you can kind of peer into it. Because I don't.
Oh, he's the first one to do that?
Oh, that's clean.
Wow,
Good
very
for him.
clean.
I didn't know he was the first one to do that.
What an angle on that. Holy.
Now, it turns out Frostkiller also used that massive skip, and so heading into middle management, Karem is still 15 seconds behind, and unfortunately blunders his run.
Oh, yeah?
And like completely removing any of that frustrating slow parts. What the hell is this? He must have just screwed up, unless... Okay, he just screwed up. Okay.
Bro, I'm looking at my eyes and I'm thinking maybe I was like watching a TFT VOD on the side. Am I paying attention? Am I even fucking paying attention? I'm not sure. I mean, I assume I was, but my eyes are looking at a weird spot.
Oh, okay, this is
Oh,
new.
he was
Yeah,
trying
that's
something.
a new strat. I did not know.
I don't sound like I'm paying attention. I don't sound like I'm paying attention, bro. What the fuck? Wake up, Big A.
How about that?
That's the type of thing that I wanted to see, because that saves me from the awful climb in that section.
This skip is huge and saves Karem from having to loop all the way around to go up a floor. And now, the route is much simpler, and Karem is only 16 seconds behind. And because he isn't making any mistakes, by the time he enters the giant slope, he has completely
Maybe I was doing runs of my own, to be honest. That was back when I was grinding to
Now,
beat
during
Squeaks.
the day, Small Ant had made a huge discovery in the giant slope section.
Don't
Dude.
go into the...
I guess this video gives him credit, but like, you know, it should be stated how much Small Ant innovated in the first few days. He was like the first big streamer speedrunner to just sit down and grind this game all day, all week. And like, he added so much shit. And because he was the streamer everyone was watching, whenever he found a new trick or someone showed him a new trick, he like popularized it to everybody so that everyone could level up quicker.
Corner in the building. You're coming sharper, you start higher on the second.
Those are great
What do you
streams.
mean, like, coming from like this angle, you mean?
Oh, first try? Someone tells him in chat?
I'm giving you a sub.
And both Karem and
He does it
Frostkiller
first
use
try?
this strategy, but Frostkiller goes left and Karem does not. As you can see, the skip lets them avoid doing all of this, which is huge. But when Frostkiller goes left, he's actually backtracking, and now has diminished the impact of his initial skip because he has to turn around and continue on the normal route. Karem, on the other hand,
What are they doing now?
uses the little bump to get onto the ramp.
Ah.
Really? And now, Karem has skipped having to do both this and this. And without having to do any backtracking, Karem is now 15 seconds ahead. But he has
Made all the
one
difference.
more trick up his sleeve. The last part of the giant slope section has you hitting these massive slope jumps. And despite being wide, you actually have to follow the black lines pretty precisely to complete this section. But Karem ignores the black lines and hits a different route.
We don't do that. Unless this is related to...
Oh, shit. I've never done that once. It's too hard.
Okay.
Karem has found the biggest skip of the entire day because the normal route has you going through the inside of the building along this incredibly slow.
Damn, that's a day
tightrope
one
section
skip?
that
I
you
didn't know.
can't
That's a
speed
crazy
through.
skip for day one.
This platform is just too tight, and if you screw up, the run's dead. It happened to a Spectacore. And now Karem is 50 seconds ahead of Frostkiller as he heads into the final section where he's the first to find any skip, albeit small, in this final section. Now, the first two rooms are completely standard, but again, nearly perfect execution. This guy isn't missing anything.
Of course he gets it.
Incredible.
And then he introduces his final skip.
It's the first one.
Oh, he skips 3.
It's the fourth one.
Wow.
Lines off. Whoa.
Okay,
Whoa.
that one's crazy.
That is crazy.
Oh, that's
risky.
Jesus, that would make me so nervous this far into the run.
Yeah, and
that
it's a big
is
ball.
huge. That was so.
Yeah, it is crazy for
clean.
day one.
Holy. And completes the run.
I don't know how
winning
he found
the day
that.
one competition with a monstrous time of 20:46, 3 minutes faster than Frostkiller. and 11 minutes
20:46
faster
on
than
day
Dan
one.
Corona.
But it needs to be said, nobody beat my PB on day one. If somehow my PB could travel back in time to day one, it would be the world record. Just needs to be said. Just needs to be said.
With the first leg complete, we entered the second leg of the competition that this time lasted 2 days instead of 1. And so began the quest to go sub 20. And for the first day, no competitive times were submitted until at 3 a.m., Dan Corona submitted a new run with a ton of new strats. You see, during the day, we had noticed there were 2 groups forming. Those that were very interested in discovering strats, bugs, and wild skips, and the grinders who were
Strat
interested
hunters
at getting
and
really
grinders.
good at the game. Dan Corona started calling the strat finders the scientists, which I quite like, so I'm going to use it. And in our Discord, they were hard at work cooking up new tech in the lab and sharing their results. Dan had taken all of those findings and was trying all night to combine them into one cohesive run. Dan had 3 major skips and 2 minor ones, but couldn't string them together. And coming off of a devastating run that was ruined by a very rare bug where you fall off the slingshots, which is now fixed, Dan's mental was at an all-time low.
That sucks.
I'm 1630 in the second to last area of the game, and I get stuck.
And since he had to work in the morning, this was his last run of the night.
Damn, I feel bad. That sucks.
The first part of his run is very standard, so we're actually going to start in the warehouse, because during the day, no one cooked harder on strats than Small Ant.
My goat!
He was the first to discover that I had placed a very sneaky slingshot
It seems like
here.
landing here, going in this, then landing directly on this.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Nice. That's so clean, dude. That's so cool.
Now, because it was OP, my intention was for it to be hard to get to. You had to hit this horizontal slingshot, dive through the upper hole, into a jump, down this giant tube that shoots you out, land on this tiny section of the ramp and pop up, and voila, you can use the slingshot.
I had no fucking idea that's what the intended route was. I haven't done that once. I had absolutely no fucking idea that's what... I thought he planned it from this way the whole time.
To rocket you up. And runners like
I've never seen that
Spectacore were
one
trying to learn
time.
this route, but weren't having much luck.
What am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, motherfucker.
Fortunately, Small Ant discovers that you don't need to do the hard part. If you veer off from the intended route, you can ride the wall to access the slingshot. Now, it's not as fast as the route I had in mind for the runners, but it still saves Dan a ton of time.
That's funny.
Moving up to the unpaid intern section, Dan makes a minor improvement to the interview skip, where if you hit it perfectly, you can skip up, avoiding going lower. Now, it's a minor skip, but this will come into play
Okay,
later
I still
on.
can't do
So
that. I
wanted to
think by
point it
day
out.
2,
Now,
every
this
trick I
not
have
a
is
perfect
lapped.
Run, and Dan makes some pretty big mistakes. So there's some real room for improvement, but the skips he introduces in the last section are so big that he can afford to. In fact, after ripping through middle management, Dan is actually 14 seconds behind Karem's original run. But again, because Small Ant and the other scientists were cooking so hard during the day, Dan is armed with some new strats and hits this gray section, bumping left. Now, I think now's a good time to explain the final section of the game. This is the first part, the department head section. And to start, you hit these jump pads in a massive loop. But by hitting the gray rail, you can just skip all of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
The rest of the department head section combines everything the players have learned throughout the rest of the game. You have jump pads, winding and precise jumps that are chained together, and the slanted ramps from middle.
The maps are so cool
it's
from this
windy,
angle.
It's so punishing, and it's slow. And up until now, it's lacking any major skips. But during the day...
Do you think the fact that all of these pro speedrunners never had to play my version makes them less than? The fact that they never beat it with the bumpers I had to beat it with kind of makes them like not as good. Kind of like inferior gamers in a way. Like in a way, I'm the only person to have ever truly beaten it.
Speedrunner Hikazi
I
shared
agree,
a new
agree.
strat with Dan.
Go up this wall. Get into this crack.
Wait, what the
and you
fuck
just
is
ride along
this?
it. Boom. Saves you 3 or 4 seconds.
Wait, I haven't seen this.
And now the tables have turned, and Dan is 14 seconds ahead of Karem.
I'm like a monorail bitch.
I'm like a
But Dan
monorail
has one
bitch.
final trick up his sleeve. This is Karem's original route. He hits every jump pad and follows the normal route. But Dan skips the jump pads, rides the corner, and instead of going straight, he hooks right.
Oh.
And now the route looks like this. Now, I'm not sure who found it first because earlier in the day, Small Ant had found an even more optimized version where you just use the jump pads, saving even
I remember
more
that.
time.
The Small Ant 135. That's awesome.
But Dan seems to create his own variation, so they probably
God,
discovered it
Small
each
Ant's
on
such a
the road.
fucking speedrunner.
And with that, Dan clutches up with his last run of the night and gets a world record.
It's not sub 20, but it's world record still, boys. Let's fucking go.
Sheesh, new world record.
And with the 2023, the quest to break sub 20 inches closer. Dan continues to hold the world record for nearly 24 hours until Frostkiller submits a new run with 1 minor skip and 2 massive skips. The run starts off pretty standard until he reaches the warehouse. And again, I had to recreate his run since the low frame rate is pretty hard on the eyes. Now, Frostkiller has learned about my secret slingshot, and despite not going for my intended route, he's found a minor adaptation where he hooks
run's
right,
so sick.
skipping a ton of extra route. Again, a minor change, but once we move into the junior financial analyst section, he pulls off the infamous wine mixer skip.
He was the first
discovered
one?
by speedrunner Sheekins. After you launch off the last cog, you have to land this massive gap and run right to continue your
He
path.
was the first wine mixer skipper, huh?
But if you time it perfectly and ride the wall all the way up, you can actually land at this high point.
Yeah,
and
it's
to
so
illustrate
sick.
how big of a time save this is, you can see that by doing the wine mixer skip, you eliminate having to do all of this with shade.
Bro, this is why Ludwig's time was so fast, though. Because he didn't start playing the game till like a month after it came out, and he watched everyone's runs. He watched the whole fucking speed. He was doing wine mixer skip like his first run.
Saves off nearly a full minute from Dan's run. Now, beyond this, his run is pretty standard. But because of the wine mixer skip and by only making a couple of mistakes, by the time he enters the department head section, he's 2 full minutes ahead of Dan. And then, while crossing the gap into the final section, Frostkiller misses the jump and lands in the recovery section.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You see, because this jump is so hard, I created a bit of a recovery. So if you mess up, 1, you don't fall all the way back down
is
to the
this?
bottom. But 2, this little jump will launch you all the way back to the half oval jump, where you can try one more time. And most people
Why
do
are there
manage
2
to get
Atriocs on
across their
screen?
second try. But Frostkiller actually doesn't mess up and has a different plan. He drops down and with perfect precision hits this recovery jump pad and skips all the way
This is
up.
the goat skip.
Now, when you see it done, it seems so OP and so easy, but when I was building it, it wasn't obvious at all and really only works at this very specific angle and speed. Speedrunners, am I right? Now,
Yeah,
this
that's the
skip,
goat
which was
skip.
first discovered by Eula Crevette, is actually 2 seconds slower than Dan's route, but it's the catalyst to something much bigger later on in the competition, so I had to show it. And with that, Frostkiller shatters the sub-20 barrier with a time of 18:29.
Wait, I'm already beaten?
For the next 12 hours, the
What
competition...
was my PB? 1847 or something like that? I've already beaten? Sad.
Competition is unsuccessful in dethroning Frostkiller's time.
No, that's when you were born. Dude, fuck yourself. I asked a simple question. There's no need for that kind of fucking rhetoric, dude. I asked a simple fucking question.
And with 12 hours left, most of the hardcore grinders had started to focus on the last leg of the competition, which, unlike legs 1 and 2, was glitchless. And with 2 hours left in the competition, a new runner, who was also focused
Year of Kindness,
on
I
glitchless,
thought.
submits a new run. This is Elving, who submitted a run with only a couple of minor tweaks to Frostkillers, but just
Elving.
really improves on the execution. Starting in pendulums, he's the first person to successfully chain these pendulums together. Now, it's not that big of a time save, but it's so hard to do.
Yeah, it looks
During
really swag.
development,
I've never
I could
done
never
it.
do it, so
I've
I
never
wanted to
done it.
highlight it. I think it's really cool. And Elving is finally the first person to use my warehouse skip, which, if you can't tell, I'm kind of
Oh.
happy about because I put in a lot of work.
Damn,
to
I
grade
literally
it.
have never seen this.
And to top it off, his execution is basically flawless. I mean, he is hitting every jump perfectly, getting the perfect amount of height.
God,
It's
so
pretty
swag.
impressive. And that puts him 10 seconds ahead of Frostkiller.
That is so swag.
Again, in middle management, a minor tweak to the route, where he uses a new small ant strat.
Okay.
Small ant skip.
Grab. Hold left. Up, 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 up. Good, good, good. All right.
Over on the giant slope, he uses another small ant skip that saves a ton of back and forth.
Oh,
This
yeah, I
is
remember that.
Frostkiller's route. And like I said, it's a big old back and forth, and this ledge is too high for players to get up. So you have to go around, unless, of course, you hit it perfectly, like Elving does. And it does have a bit of backtracking, but it is a lot faster.
Yeah, way faster.
And with no other skips, he closes out his run with a beautiful 18-17, shaving off 12 seconds from Frostkiller's
New
time to
world
take first place in the
record!
second leg with a glitchless run, no less. Now, going glitchless in a leg that allowed glitches surprised me. I thought glitches would play a big role, but between runners being hyper-focused on the final leg, which was worth the most money, and with the glitches that were being found not making that big of a difference in time,
A little rat climb.
it turned out to not be the case.
Well, that was a legal glitch. That was allowed. Oh.
Until 30 minutes before the deadline, Karem submitted another run. And I hope you're ready to buckle up because this mother did it again with 6 major innovations. Now, I just wanted to start by playing
The
a tiny
goat!
bit of his run throughout the parkade. I've really glossed over the parkade because, to be honest, there haven't been any crazy skips, but it's just kind of satisfying to see someone run the optimal route. And admittedly, it's quite easy to learn this part of the run. Pretty much every runner is doing this no problem, which means if you're interested in speedrunning the game, I'm just saying, this part is doable and the game is available on Steam and Xbox.
Check it out!
Anyway, Karem continues to hit the perfect route, and like other runs in Leg 2, only really starts to innovate in the warehouse, where he introduces probably the most famous and most impactful skip of the entire competition. I've seen a ton of innovations. Someone found my slingshot, which is really exciting, so I think there's...
Oh, yeah.
What the was that? Wait, go back. He's like wiggling his controllers. What is he doing? Okay. He just gets like a ton of
The
vertical
fucking
air.
top
That's
grab.
cool. Nice job coding it, Isto. I would have done that. I would have.
Oh my god.
This whole game's broken.
Do you know how long we tested the slingshot for?
This whole game's broken. Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
There's no way. He just skipped the entire level. He just skipped the
That's
entire
good.
level. I don't understand.
Well, this speedrun's gonna end up being 30 seconds.
Given how important this skip is, I think it's worth explaining what's happening. First discovered on day 1 by runner Hello S, and then refined by Big Willie that same
Big
day.
Willie.
It turns out that if you grab onto the very top of the slingshot, it produces some unexpected...
Yeah, I think Isto was more upset about the glitches than I was. I think when you're a dev, it hurts you more. I was like, it looks cool, so it's funny. But he was like always a little bit upset. Like, what if people, I don't know, get mad or whatever, or like refund.
Did results.
Wait a second. I think you're onto something.
Many days after the speedrun competition, we finally figured out what is actually happening. Here's what the physics system sees. These are the slingshots.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
In the normal case, the player grabs onto the slingshot, and on release, we apply a fixed velocity to the player. This is so they always launch in the same direction and at the same speed. It makes the slingshots more dependable and more fun.
Okay.
But if you are a sneaky speedrunner and roll up the slingshot and grab the top, the slingshot and the player's collider will get out of sync and the player can end up here. Why that happens, it's complicated, so we're just going to skip the explanation. But when they do get out of sync, the physics system goes, wait a second, you're not supposed to be inside of the slingshot? I better try to push you out. But at the exact same time, our slingshot system goes, time to apply the velocity to you, good sir, and send you on your way. And the two get added together, giving you this. So not only does Karem get shot
That's a
straight
cool video.
up, but he has found a way to get more velocity from the slingshots than we had ever intended. It's insane.
That's cool.
And because of that, he clears the entire warehouse in 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is 30 seconds faster than Elving. He continues to run a clean, unpaid intern and junior financial analyst. And by the time he gets to middle management, he has continued to hold a 30-second lead. But everything in middle management and beyond is where Karem truly shines.
Regular standard stuff. And then now he's like, this is normally a recovery route. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is recovery. Like, the slingshot.
No, he's gonna break your.
Oh! Of course. Now, other runners like Frostkiller knew about the top grab, but it's tricky, and even he couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do it outside of that one spot.
But Karem's execution is top notch and lands him 3
It's like
levels
hard. I
high.
tried top
And
grabs
you
a bunch and I
don't need to
couldn't.
top grab to do this skip. You can do it pretty much every time by using the slingshot normally, but Karem is just flexing on the haters as he prepares to move into the giant slope where he has another huge trick.
Okay,
up
is
his
he
sleeve.
this?
I mean, he just skipped all of middle management. He skipped like the whole
just
damn
skipped all of it.
thing. Oh no,
Dude, I remember right after I watched this with this though, I went and practiced it, and then I tried to use it to beat Squeaks. I remember exactly this week. It was the week I was like trying to beat Squeaks' time, and I saw this, and I went into fucking solo mode, and I practiced that skip a bunch.
By hitting this lower ledge, he carries the momentum from the slingshot to ride up the slope. And if you look at the normal middle management route and compare it to Karem's, it's so nasty. I mean, just look at how windy the original is, and he just skips it all.
That's crazy.
And normally, this path forces you into this exit point, where you just can't generate enough speed. But his skip lets him carry so much momentum, he can just ride straight up. Even compared to the other runners who have to backtrack, it's just such a big time save.
Yeah, it's so swag.
At the top of the giant slope, he of course pulls off his signature skip.
Come to see how the greats do it. Genuinely though, like look at this gameplay.
And then, by using the wall bump skip, he enters the department head section a full minute and a half ahead of Elving.
That's
He doesn't waste
crazy.
any time introducing a new skip.
Now I'm worried there's another slingshot.
Dude, that's actually crazy because to be a minute and a half ahead of second place on day 2 or 3, everyone's all got the same information. Everyone's all grinding. Everyone's in the same Discord. That's crazy. He's just a goat. He's like inventing so much shit.
where are you going? Where is
That's
he?
so much height.
Wait, why is he pausing?
And by the way, like a Spectacor, Dan Corona, those are probably the big two, but some of these guys were testers on this game. they played it before release. They didn't get the full game, but they were testers, right? Karem was not. Karem was not a tester. So it's like,
I don't know. Why is he? You see, Karem has paused the game to open up a metronome that is playing at exactly 215 beats per minute, and then proceeds to climb
This is
straight up the wall.
This is a bad Lucas though. We're cooked.
And if you're wondering if you can just climb up every single wall in the game, you cannot. This is just the magic of speedrunners. Let me explain. This is Small Ant. He's a speedrun-focused streamer who picked up the game on day 1, and on his first playthrough, he discovered that some walls are climbable.
What if we just like Spider-Man over there?
And before even beating the game, he climbed,
yeah, this though was fucked my chunk of his life.
and he climbed, and he climbed.
Yeah, he climbed everything.
And to beat the punishing final level, you must jump back and forth between 2 very tall buildings. Unless, of course, you just climb the whole thing.
Bro, what are you doing? What, is he mashing his way up the building? He's been like this for 10 minutes?
This is live.
Where is he even in the context of the level?
Their CEO.
This is the grab mechanic, and there's 3 major pieces to understanding how he's breaking
cool. I
the
wanna
game
see how it
the way
works.
that he is. The grab acts as a braking system for the players to slow down. When you're going really fast on flat ground, you slide a bit and then stop. It's incredibly helpful on tight platforms and giving the players more control over your very slippery character. And when you're on steep slopes and vertical walls, the player can grab and slow themselves down.
No. No.
This lets them evaluate where to fall to, which again makes the game a little less punishing, because let's be real, it's a pretty punishing game. Lastly, we added what we call the release boost, which gives the player a tiny boost of speed right after they release the grab. During development, players kept slipping off the edge and getting really frustrated because it felt like they should be able to scooch over the edge. You see, behind the scenes, the player is actually a giant ball.
Right.
This is what the system sees, a big old ball rolling around. The player model doesn't affect gameplay at all, so when the ball approaches a ledge, you can see that this point of no recovery visually makes sense. Your brain goes, of course the ball would slip off the edge.
Right, but if it's a human.
But the model looks like it should be able to recover. And video games are all about what feels right, so we created a mechanic called the release boost. When you release the grab, we increase the friction on the ball for 1/4 of a second. And when you're on the edge or on a wall, that extra friction helps the ball just squeak over the edge.
That's cool. That's
Unless,
cool.
of course, you furiously spam the grab, which essentially gives the ball a permanent friction boost.
He's a gamer.
Now, we knew about this, so we tagged every piece of geometry in the game as either slippery or non-slippery. Slippery geometry, which you can see is on the walls and vertical objects, stops the system from applying the extra friction, so you can't spam the grab button and climb all over the place. The system is foolproof. You cannot cheat the system, unless the level designer, aka me, forgets to add the correct tags to a handful of geometry and a particularly motivated speedrun streamer tests every piece of geometry in the entire game on day 1. Now when that happens, well, it turns out the entire final section of the game can be skipped. However, wall climbing is incredibly inconsistent.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
pretty
Small
slow.
spent 10 minutes just climbing the last wall, and none of the other runners like Dan could figure out how to make it consistent. Until one of the scientists posted a video of him climbing. Cividit
just the
asks
metronome.
why there's a random clicking noise in the background in which he casually responds, metronome. Because apparently, if you repeatedly tap the grab key at 215 beats per minute, you can consistently wall climb.
That's
which
so
also
funny.
means he probably tried so many different BPMs to make this work, which is insane, impressive, probably both. And Karem has
That's
discovered
cool.
one additional thing. Apparently, if you increase your frames per second, you can climb faster, which is why his frames go from 60 to unlimited. But Karem, armed with top grabs and a metronome,
It's a partnership we did with NVIDIA where you can have a better speedrunning time if you buy the latest and greatest GPU. Frames win games, baby. Frames win games. We sold thousands and thousands of 5090s, early release.
skips the entire department head section and is the first person to finally find a skip in the second last room.
Top
Oh,
grab.
the top grab skip.
Ooh. Risky one.
Sheesh.
Oh, he's doing another top grab.
Another top grab. Straight
Bro,
up.
wake up. Dude, he did a lot of these. He would have me record these at night after stream, and I would always fucking tired. I'm looking at my face, and I'm like, bro, show some fucking energy for Isto's video, bro. But he's like, I was just fucking tired. I'm like, eepy, dude. I'm eepy. This is probably right after watching a fucking House episode.
Wow.
Lands on here. There's enough speed on this? Oh, will you
He
need
has
a
to
flip?
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Just to barely do it. Wow.
That
I was
was
like,
cool.
I don't think there's enough speed on that one. Yeah, that's funny.
Again, another massive time save that carries him through to the end of the run with a staggering 1450, nearly 2.5 minutes faster than Elving, earning him first place in both leg 1 and
That's
leg 2.
crazy. That's crazy. Sub 15, second place is 1817. And you're on fucking, what is it? What is this, day 3? That's crazy. Karim's in chat. What's up, Karim? You're the GOAT. I guess, well, it's kind of like 1A, 1B, you and me, right? Like, I'm the GOAT of bald percent. You're the GOAT of the other percents. You learn from me. I learn from you. It's definitely like it's a Shaq and Kobe situation. It's definitely a Shaq and Kobe. And that's cool that we did that.
And with that, it was time to move on to the final leg of the competition, the glitchless run. With 6 days to grind and the biggest prize pool, everyone was focused on winning this leg of the race. And because it was glitchless, Karim's winning run wasn't valid for this leg, setting the world record back to 1817, which also reopened the quest to go sub 15. But it wasn't long before that was broken because Small Ant had been grinding.
Small Ant got a record!
Rips through the parkade, I wanted to explain the rules of the final leg. You can't clip out of bounds. Wall climbing is allowed, since it's an intended feature, but we patched the really important walls to not be climbable, like the end section. And our whole team met and decided that top grabs should be kept in permanently as a feature, not a bug, since they're so cool.
Yeah, top grabs are pretty
Because of those
swag.
rules, most of Small Ant's run is pretty much the same as Karim's, except for the final section, because we patched out the wall climb. This means that runners have to start from scratch and re-event how to run this final section.
Top grab?
Now, the top grab you're
the
seeing
only
here
one I've ever
looks
done.
big, but it turns out to be a very minor skip that really only saves a couple of seconds. Because without the wall climb, they're forced to drop down to the main entrance. And if you remember, this section is slow and tedious.
Yeah.
And yes, there are some minor skips like veering left at this jump pad, and believe it or not, Small Ant bungles up this skip, and now he has to do the full route. So without the wall
he's gonna
climb,
do the
the
thing.
runners are at a massive disadvantage that I
That's better.
think
Dude,
will
I
make
did,
sub 15 in
I did not know Smollett was the first one to do that. That's the fucking swaggiest trick.
possible. This skip, first found by Discord user Anton, lets you
Anton.
essentially skip the entire department head section. And it seems pretty simple, but it's actually pretty tricky, and the skip is quite elegant. So let me explain. The way the jump pad normally works is when you enter this red zone, the jump pad will apply an upward force to the player. So if
Okay.
you come in from a normal angle, the player's velocity will look like this. And adding the jump pad's velocity to the player results in this. And they happily bounce away.
Right.
But if you were to collide with the lower section, well, most of the time you splat against the wall. But if you can hit the wall just under the speed threshold that doesn't cause you to splat, you'll bounce up. And if your collider is even a fraction within the jump pad's collider, it will trigger the bounce, which, by the way, isn't easy to do. But if you pull it off,
Not for
the
Ludwig.
player's velocity is now pointing up.
I do that
And
shit
so
free.
The resulting velocity
I do that shit in my sleep.
is also up. And after a clean VP section, Small Ant is the first to use the Lord Mouse skip. Lord Mouse had been actively submitting runs, but other runners had been so cracked that I haven't had a chance to show him.
Skipped quite a bit.
But all credit goes to him for finding this one.
Oh, that's dope. Good shit, Lord Mouse. That's the skip that made me
And
finally be
not only
able
is
to
the normal route
beat it
slow and windy,
in speedruns.
but it's also hard. So by hitting the jump pad, you could just skip that hard section. And with just those two new skips alone, Small Ant manages to claim
Without
a
this
new
skip, I would
world
keep
record.
choking the end.
1543. I never saw a 17 or an 18, and I never will. 2 quick ones.
Small
But only
Ant!
several hours after, Dan
Small
Corona
Ant, my
strikes back
glitchless
with
go.
only a very minor optimization in the parkade, and then transitions that into a pendulum skip,
Oh shit.
Ooh, I could have sent it there. I could have.
and takes the world record back with a 16:29.
Dan Corona back on
By
top.
day 5, the quest to go sub 15 continues as runners Not Edge introduces a minor skip in middle management where he top grabs to get a little more height, and with good technique runs a 15:43, shaving 45 seconds.
I never heard
off
of Not
Dan
Edge.
Corona.
Good shit.
But at the exact same time that Not Edge takes the world record, Dan Corona was grinding the game and was having
Oh no. Oh
a tough
no.
fall after fall after fall.
Dude, no disrespect. I love Dan Corona, and he did so much for this game. But every time I would tune in during that like launch week, he was in such a bad mood. I watched like everybody, and every time I would tune in to Dan Corona, he would be like actually mad, like in a mad, angry, upset state. And I wouldn't like want to say anything funny in chat because I would. He was crashing out for real.
He wraps up the day with the exact same time as Not Edge with a 15:43. But unfortunately, it
A
didn't
tie?
matter because Small Ant had the better execution of the day. And with only one tiny tweak, where the runners learned that riding around the curve in middle management was actually faster, and with good execution, Small Ant is the first to go sub 15.
Holy shit!
14:59. That's the sub.
I didn't know that. First sub 15. That's my fucking goat. Glitchless sub 15. You don't count Karim, but
15, baby.
But the battle between Dan and Small Ant wasn't over. And Dan decides that the only way to win is to think outside the box.
I need to lock in. We got to think of other ways. How do we lock in and become world record holder? There's only one answer. Now we're ready to get world record, chat.
Holy.
And with added aerodynamics, he shaves off 9 seconds to set a new
Ludwig
world
bit
record
his whole
of
shit.
1450.
Go, baby! Let's go!
But despite this being a world record, Dan has made some mistakes in the final section, leaving some room for improvement.
Oh.
And Karem capitalizes on that. And despite not introducing any new skips, submits a 13:58, shaving off 14
Jesus
seconds
Christ.
just from pure execution.
Jesus
alone. And
Christ.
now, there's almost no room for improvement until new skips are found.
Day 7.
But I said almost no room for improvement.
Oh?
And Dan Corona comes back with a vengeance with a generational run devoid of
That's how you can tell he's truly accepting the bald lifestyle. He's wearing the hat. I respect it. If you wear the bald proudly, you're not a real bald. You have to put a hat on.
any major mistakes.
Get there.
Except for that one. And unfortunately, it's the end of the weekend and the start of the work week, which means Dan is done grinding. But
Oh,
more importantly,
no.
by day 7, Karem has found some new tech.
Wait, he was on pace for like a 1340? And he hit this at the end?
Major mistakes.
Get there.
Rational run, devoid of any major mistakes.
Get there.
This doesn't make this. He doesn't make this. Wait, give me the period. Wait. I don't want to search. God damn it. How do I just want to do it slow-mo.
There.
Dude, that sucks. That fucking sucks.
Except for that one. And
That sucks.
unfortunately, it's the end of the weekend and the start of the work week, which
That
means Dan
sucks,
is done
dude.
grinding. But more importantly,
I can see
by
why he
day
was mad.
7, Karem has found some new tech.
That
Now,
sucks.
for the sake of suspense and for brevity, I'm going to show where the skips are, but reveal them in the final winning run. But what's so interesting about this submission is for the very first time, someone has found innovations in the first 2 sections. What they are, you'll have to wait and see. But they're big enough that Karem secures a new world record of 12:36.
God damn.
Tons
Karim
of
really
runners were
ran a
trying to
fucking
catch
train
up,
in this
but
competition.
just couldn't. A Spectacor PB'd with a 15:20. Ihimaida with a 15:05. Frostkiller ran a 13:22, and Bronze Blaze ran an impressive 13:08.
Good shit,
But
Bronze
again,
Blaze.
Not enough. Until day 8, where a brand new runner emerged. This
Okay.
is Lance, the former only up world record holder
A
who had learned
German!
about the game only a couple of days prior and had been grinding offline. Even though he didn't submit this run, word had gotten out that he had beaten the world record. So I reached out and got a hold of the footage and verified that it was in fact true, because Lance and not Edge had figured out a massive skip in the last section. But with the skip being held secret, Lance's time of 12:12 was the first run to truly put Karem in the hot seat.
Okay.
For all of day 9, Karem and the other runners were unsuccessful in dethroning Lance's time.
Okay.
On the final day, day 10, Lance's time remained untouched. And with 12 hours left, no response from Karem. 10 hours, no response. 8 hours, no
Okay.
response. But with only 6 hours left, Karem submits an 11:46. With 3 massive skips and 3 minor skips, the innovations are starting to pile up. That whole night, Lance had been grinding to beat his time, and with only 5 hours left, Lance PBs with an 11:55, 9 seconds short of Karem, and then concedes, revealing his strats to the rest of the competition, leaving Karem victorious. With 4 hours left,
Damn.
Bronze Blaze goes 12:26, but again, not enough. And with 3 hours left, a runner by the name of Space Hunter comes out of nowhere and submits an 11:41, shaving off 5
my
seconds
God.
of a time that took Karem all week to get. And when I say come out of nowhere, I mean they didn't submit any runs prior, and their only message in the Discord was a link to their run and their time. And now there's not enough time to respond, and the clock continues to run down. With 2 hours left, Karem cannot beat the time, and the clock continues to run down, and with an hour left, Karem can't beat the time. Whew. And now that it's over, a ton of other runners are starting to submit their best times. And I want to highlight the ones that went sub 15,
I know you're
especially Brandwagon with a huge 12 minute. And of course, Karem with an 11:40 submitted with 50 minutes left. He manages to go 1 second faster. Talk about clutch.
That is clutch.
Whew. Now, before I show the winning run, I just want to thank everyone who ran the game and to everyone who submitted, especially to our winner. That's right, baby. It's not over.
What?
The winning time was ran live with 20 minutes left by the only runner who had any chance of beating Karem himself.
Oh.
That's right. In the very last hour, Karem goes 11:40 and then shaves off another 12 seconds to guarantee his win. For the sake of entertainment,
If it was Squeak, somehow I would have killed myself. If it was somehow Squeaks, I would have fucking blown my shit off.
I'm actually going to show off Karem's 9:57 that he runs a week later, since it's exactly the same, but with 2 more massive skips. Enjoy.
What a cool scene.
Okay. I don't feel like there's too many shortcuts in this game. I guess at the...
Oh mein Gott, das wird so satisfying jetzt.
What the heck was that? Huh?
Das war ein kleiner Skipper, den er hier genommen hat.
What the heck was that? Hi?
I'm sorry, what the fuck? Wait. What the fuck did he just do?
I saw these, but then I forgot.
This is great. This is awesome.
Out of the first room in 30 seconds.
Why are there bouncy pads there? Ride the wall.
Ui, Alter, diese komplette Sektion geskippt. Holy shit.
Why are there bouncy pads? Is that literally a dev path?
Yeah, it is. Get used to it.
What just happened?
It's these without stopping? No way.
Oh my God, that was fast. Dude, it's so funny. So I made a video of me playing Get to Work on my main channel, and it did pretty well. I think it did 400,000 views or whatever. And then I made a video of me reacting to Karem's run on the Clips channel, and it did better. Like, the main one has everything. It has the stuff with my dad in there. It has the Amaranth lines. It has the whole arc. It has the Dr. Battle thing. It has the saga, and it like did pretty well. And then the other one is just me like watching the speedrun and being like, holy shit, it did better.
Good RNG. Good RNG.
Oh, terrible RNG. He almost
Did
quit.
he consider quitting there? What was that?
Bro, he almost quit because he got bad RNG. Wow.
His camera movement's so good.
I'm glad he kept fighting.
Ah nee, das ist nicht der Start, ne? Das ist ein anderes. Ja, ich erinnere mich. Das ist ein Fake-Start.
Oh, this part. I remember this part. I was so frustrated.
Yeah. You want to lead where your next jump is. He's going to lead right again. Yeah.
Okay, damn. Okay. Shit, I was unfamiliar with your game.
Hits this, tight corner, hits this. Broski.
You can do that?
Another FPS change. I wonder why you have to change. I mean, I guess you don't lose time.
Oh, the underside? On the underside of the bounce pad?
Oh my God, was?
I'll just let myself
There's
speak
nothing
then.
in there. What was
I'll
it?
just let myself speak.
Bro,
I'll just let
Maul,
myself
holy shit.
Yeah, I would have done that too. What the fuck? was
Sorry,
this
my
jump pad?
fucking
What the hell is
neurons
that
fire
pad?
the same way.
What the fuck is going on?
Piece of shit.
He's lowering the FPS? What does that do? Does that like supercharge you off or something?
Plays like, wait, skips the thing? Oh my God, you can do
That
that?
doesn't even make sense gravitationally.
Oh, you're a scientist now? Shut the fuck up, Lover.
Yeah, the pauses are switching his frame rate, so I think.
Dude, I gotta
top
say
grabs
something.
are easier.
I'm so fucking glad Ludwig had to like. I think he had to do something with his motorcycle today or something, because we were gonna put a huge wager on that Lakers Celtics game, and I'm so fucking glad he. We were gonna go watch it at the off-brand warehouse, and I was, oh my god, I would be somewhere miserable right now. I would have skipped stream. I would have lost a bunch of money.
Whoa. Whoa.
Nice guy. I should do that. What are you doing? What is he doing?
This part's so cool.
What is he doing?
This is one of the coolest tricks ever.
What the fuck is? What the fuck are you doing? Bro!
I think that's one of the coolest tricks ever.
Sick.
All right, what about this room?
This is basic for a CEO. Okay.
Oh, nice. That's smooth.
Oh, I was so frustrated this part.
Finde ich, gab es nur einen crazy skip, ansonsten ist die Ausführung.
Ein
einfach
crazy
gut.
skip?
Further bounce.
The German word for crazy skip is crazy skip.
Boom. Okay. What does he do here? Is he anything different?
Okay, so this one you skip to floor 4. I probably do this a similar skip to this guy.
Oh, just nice little corner. Nice corner there. Hits this. Hits the middle. Hits the bottom.
I guess they go from 2nd floor to 4th. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, very nice. Okay, yeah, that's a neat little skip.
What? Connor's face.
Eat it a little more optimally, I guess.
Ludwig farming.
Yeah, every jump is very smooth, yeah.
A little more shallow than I think he's just trying to get there faster.
Why am I
which makes a
blanking
lot
on that
of
guy's
sense.
name?
Trying to get max height, and then max height, and then yeah.
What? Why am I blanking on his name? What's his name again? Elijaz. This guy's great. This guy's great. He's also a Hitman player, or at least he got into it for a while. Guy's great. He's really fun to watch.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
that's
Okay.
Oh, who's this guy again? I don't know this guy. Ludwig? No, I never heard of him. Connor's great though.
Cracked. Doesn't have to go all the way over and go. That's cracked. That's so
Okay.
cracked.
He does have like stitch hands. Feels like he's got extra paws.
I knew about that, but man, I tried. I couldn't do it. You have to hit the exact right spot and then bounce.
Okay, this is there's no cheating the cogs.
Oh yeah, this is super smooth.
What's he do here? Like angles
There's
his
definitely
body,
cheating
gets
the cogs.
thing. Boom, boom. Never slows down. Doesn't do a full wheel turn.
Das hier ist alles super, super, super easy, sage ich. Macht halt sehr gut und sehr schnell.
Cogs is cogs. People are calling it a squeak skip. That's probably not accurate.
Yeah, he's right about that. I'm glad they don't have Squeaks' reaction.
And I guess they skip all the way up the wall here. Oh yeah. Oh my god, the height.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, my God, he nailed it.
Nobody ever say German's an ugly language. It's beautiful, dude. Was?
What the fuck?
Bro, what the fuck?
What?
Was ist das?
What the fuck? Okay, das ist ein verrückter Skip. Holy shit.
I'm just happy I got the collectibles. Getting collectibles in these games is so painful because they tend to be like very risky to do.
True. Get the grind sets.
This section busted my balls. This section is hard.
What?
Oh what?
Oh!
Shit.
What in the fuck am I
Oh
watching?
mein Gott, hier ist der Hut.
Bro, what the fuck was
Oh
that?
mein Gott. That's fucking
Dude,
sick as
that's
fuck.
cracked.
That's
yeah,
sick
but
as
you didn't
fuck.
get the hat chat. So did he really beat the game?
Factually, it is. Okay, I thought there might be a way to skip that. Oh,
That's
God,
cool.
He held onto the ledge to save a second. Okay, yeah, skip it all. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Connor's saying it like, skip it all, you dirty bitch.
I know this trick.
Skip
I
it
can't
all.
do this.
Yeah.
definitely the wrong way.
Hier war ich auch so lange
He's
stuck.
getting sexually excited.
Bro, was?
How did he jump?
Was hat er gemacht?
Marginally.
Oh what?
What?
That's crazy.
What? No, you can't do that. No, you just can't do that.
Okay, he's gonna go to the left here, I think.
Alter, what the fuck?
Gets here, turns around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went right. I think you're supposed to go right.
Okay, auch Leaf, okay.
Okay.
Boom.
Digga, halt's Maul. Halt's Maul, Digga.
Halt's Maul, Ding.
That skips a lot.
What in the fuck am I watching? Are we playing the same game?
Yeah, that's what I would have did.
What is he doing now?
Okay. Oh, that's a fail. Okay, some improvement to be had.
What is he? What is he doing?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wait, where are you going?
Wait, up there too? Oh, damn.
That's such a sick skip.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Bro just skipped half
Okay, you have to go in the hole.
What the fuck?
Wait, what? Where's he going?
You don't have to go in the hole.
This is a cool scene.
No, don't tell me you can skip this entire section.
Oh my god.
That's some horse shit.
Dude, he's like in the ending rooms at 7:30.
Digga, warte mal, was? Warte mal. Was hat er hier?
What's he doing now? Why is he changing the FPS?
Oh, this part's crazy too. Boom.
Oh my god. No way. No way.
Wait, why would you go down there? You could have done the other jump.
Oh, he saved himself too. Wow.
Oh no, he's gonna break the game, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the GOAT. Karem's the GOAT,
no,
dude.
You can't get up. No.
No way!
Okay.
No. And you don't even need to go on the ramp. I'm a moron.
Dude, this is crazy.
What? Oh, when you skip that part?
This is a good video. I think this is gonna bang.
I do remember this place.
I think this video's gonna do real well.
Most of my playthrough was this place.
What is that settings menu?
Okay, this section, I feel like I'm low-key world record
Assist.
pace. Okay, this
Where are you
is
going?
cheating,
No.
right?
No way.
He's cheating. Bro, he's cheating.
No
He's
Dude, bouncing on the
beat. He's cheating. I swear to God, he's cheating.
No way. Using support
He's like
pillars.
glitching through the fucking map and shit.
Digga, my first try.
Yo,
Bro, das
sheesh,
ist so
bro.
schwer.
I thought it'd be.
Okay, what do you do here?
You're not gonna make that.
What do you do here?
No, what is he gonna do with this? He's gonna be nasty, isn't it?
Oh mein Gott, nimmt den Bouncer. Nimmt den Bouncer.
He's spamming the trigger.
Oh mein Gott!
Bruder.
That was a jump.
Halt's Maul, Digga.
Oh, bratwurst.
Holy.
Fuck off, dude.
What the
That's
fuck?
so crazy.
I went through that shitty segment. I didn't see that.
Crazy.
All right, at least the very end of the game.
Whoa.
No way! Oh my god, that saved so much time.
Und ich dachte, du wirst Ja, aber ich kenne jetzt nicht die Speedrun-Skips. What the fuck?
Of course.
Wait, I gotta see that again. I gotta see that again.
Okay, I have to explain this. This is the skip that Lance and Not Edge discovered, and I promise you, we made sure that you cannot get enough height by hitting the jump pad. There is no situation in which you can get enough height to reach that second jump
Yeah, I
pad.
still can't do this.
But Karem doesn't land on the jump pad, he lands on the side. Maybe not that, that's what happens if you don't time your grab perfectly to catch your landing. Instead, he grabs to catch himself, which increases his friction, giving him a release boost.
Okay.
Which gets him up the ramp. And then, right before he hits the jump pad, he grabs again, giving him a
you have to
second
grab
speed boost,
again?
where he clips the box collider of the jump pad, and because he's heading up, and with his newly added speed, he can reach the second jump pad.
You grab
skipping
right
the entire
before.
last
I was wondering
section.
how you did that. I could
really
never
is
do
the
it.
culmination of all the skips combined. So impressive. Anyway,
is fucking
back
crazy.
to the run.
Boah, das ist so satisfying irgendwie. Oh mein Gott.
It is just a beautiful run.
Final jump.
What is he doing? Slow down.
Slow down.
Das ist echt geil.
The world record speed run. Lines it up. Say that again. Say that again. Whoa, this game is really nice.
Boah, das Game ist echt geil. No joke, gutes Game.
No joke, good game. Wow. Interesting. I guess if I hadn't tried it, I would probably head to Steam right now, go to the Get to Work Steam page and check it out. Maybe myself could enjoy a really fun, satisfying, good game. I wouldn't even call it a rage game. I'd call it a fucking fun game. Lines it up.
Nerve-wracking. Oh, yikes. Almost fucked it.
Oh, you still have to go there. That's nerve-wracking.
Oh.
Mistranslation? No, he was actually saying shut down the nuclear. It got mistranslated. He was actually saying, I don't care about this game. We need to shut the fucking nuclear down.
Oh my God. The reverse turn in?
That's awesome.
That's
That was a
Had no business
fantastic
being
run.
that
I
swag.
didn't think this game would be
Damn, that was
sub 10
cool.
minutes.
Oh, like a real ice skater.
I did not think it was possible. Let alone this quickly.
9:57. Wow.
That's fucking crazy. First sub 10 minute. What a goat.
What an impressive run. And it turns out that Space Hunter's run, although absolutely cracked and so creative,
You missed. You fucked up.
was only remotely close to Karem's time.
Oh.
Why is there a hole there? Why is there a hole there? What is he
Hey,
doing?
did he mess up on purpose, or is this like the dream? What the
Because
hell?
they found some insane out of bounds skips.
You dirty dog.
Reverse.
Yeah.
But
Miss.
he's still, like, you know, Karem's not making any mistakes, and he's
Okay. Damn, that's a crazy skip.
which is amazing, and I'm so glad they submitted, but was illegal for the final run, disqualifying them. Meaning Karem actually won by nearly...
Okay, Insane Karem beat that time by, what, 15 seconds? And Space Hunter was literally going out of bounds, skipping through.
30 seconds. So, congratulations to the top 5 runners, to Karem for winning back to back to back, and a huge
That's
thank
the
you
goat,
to the entire
folks!
speedrunning community.
Me and him, the goats.
This was a massive video that required a ton of research and time, and I'm itching to get back to work. So there probably won't be any new videos for a while. And who knows, maybe we'll do a small update in the future for the game, but the only way to know is to subscribe and to buy the game on Steam.
Yeah!
Thanks for watching.
Do it!
We'll see you next time.
Hey, fire fucking video. He said the line too. Big fucking shout outs to Isto, aka the Doinkler, as he prefers to be called, who doinked his way into our hearts. Fire video. That video's gonna get 1 million. My YouTube sense is tingling. That video breaks 1 mil. You can just tell, dude. People love speedrunning shit like that. Can we watch the battle report part from your run? No, smiley face, because it makes me want to die. It was funny. Do you have the link? Do you have the link? Do you have the link? All right, link it, Dr. Battle. I'll watch it right now. When's the next Split Fiction stream? Whenever Stans gets back. We were going to play it yesterday, but he said he could only play for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and we wouldn't have finished it, so I said just wait. Although I found out, dude, I was hanging out at the Off-Brand office, and I was talking to fucking Kelby, and Kelby told me how much Lud is making to play Split Fiction, and I was like, oh, me and Stans are playing it for free. And now I feel like a chump, dude. Now I feel like a fucking chump while he's just fucking... Imagine playing a video game for free, bro. Neely K, thank you for the 19 months. I read Blood Over Brighthaven because of your recommendation. It's one of my favorite books, if not my favorite. Thanks for recommending it. My friends who never enjoyed a book before loved it too. Hey, nice. That's fucking awesome. It's cool. It's a cool book. Emery, stay for the 5 months. Is this the Dr. Battle thing? Please, 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 please.
This is so irrelevant! This is so irrelevant!
So your friend openly taught green solution. I know how to play Hit Parade.
Good evening once again, everyone. Dr. Battle here with my first ever second battle report in the same
it's lagging.
Same day. I want to apologize. I was given incorrect information that Atrioc had beaten this game so quickly, and it turns out he wasn't even close. Not by a mile. Like, this should take multiple streams. I'm talking same section over and over, making an
Oh, stop lagging.
Ounce of progress, then losing it all because he like set the controller down and it fell or something. You guys know how Atrioc is. Always finding ridiculous ways to fall. Oh hey, there's Atrioc. Wait, no. Oh, he didn't qualify. Oh, good try, buddy. Sometimes you just don't make it. I've never made fun of you for this either. You'll get him next time. Well, sorry about the premature celebration. I'm sure you'll get past this part in no time.
No! Ah! Doctor fucking battle! Oh my
That is an all-timer. That is an all-timer, bro. That is an all-timer. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I remember what happened in real life is I walked to the kitchen because I'm so mad. I try to cut myself a slice of pie. I knock the thing over. It splats the pie on the ground, makes a big fucking mess. I don't get any pie. What a fucking L time. Fuck my Chungus life, truly. Truly, it was an FMCL moment. And there's no doubt about it. Yeah, it was a Chung-tastrophe for sure. It was definitely a Chung-tastrophe. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This video will cheer you up? No, it won't. This is a 56-minute video about balloons. I don't want to watch that. Oh, CoffeeZilla. We'll watch that. CoffeeZilla SBF. Oh, wait. Where's the Logic Defender video? We should watch that while we're still talking Get to Work. Logic Defender cosplay. Can I find it? Can I find it? No one ever linked it to me, bro. No one ever linked it. This is the video? You linked it to me? Nice. Nice. I won't forget. I won't forget. It's 2025, bro. Come on. It was a 7-second long video called Rickroll Different Link. It was a different URL. Oh, here it is. Why is there no sound?
Until I can really.
Oh.
But apparently he's resetting. I'm obviously going to save my. I'm going to save my follow until I can really cause an impact. But apparently he's resetting for every follow, sub, cheer, or dono.
There's
Not
3 of me on the
ending
screen
stream
right
till I
now.
beat the game day 3. That's insane. You will never beat it. If you count follows, you will never beat it. You will do this till you die. No, that's worse than a subathon, bro. That's insane. You'll never.
Did he
ever
beat it? Did he beat it?
I'm gonna tune in, and make a reset at VP.
Actually, I did beat it. It took 12 days straight of playing Get to Work.
Okay.
And you know what, Atrioc? I really appreciate you wanting to support the stream. Even if it was during VP, it was very kind of you to drop a follow like that. And I can't thank you enough for...
Okay, but I did follow.
He's not following? That's right. Over the course of 12 days, Atrioc never even followed this stream.
Which
Make it up to
Atrioc's
me for
real.
Not following like you said you would.
I could be
You
reacting
should
right
race
now,
and
and that
get
could be
to
the real
work.
one.
And the loser should have to cosplay as the rollerblade guy.
How about this? How about this? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I already fucking didn't race Squeaks. I'm not going to race you. Here's what I'll do. You dress up as the rollerblade guy. Okay? And I do what? I'll raid and gift in penance for missing the follow. Oh, wait a minute. If you dress up as the rollerblade guy and get a good time, we're making a video of the speedrun history of Get to Work. Maybe we include it in that.
So here we are, with Atrioc asking me to dress up as the rollerblade guy. And I have to ask myself, am I actually willing to do it? Yep, it ended up being a little tricky. Naturally, it started off by shaving and gelling my hair down.
Include it in the reaction.
You look like Sinestro. Is Sinestro the Green Lantern guy? No,
Who's
don't
Sinestro?
fucking... Bro, you fucking dickhead. You absolute...
Wait, why does he have a son that says doo-doo fard? And also, you do look like Sinestro.
Jackass. After fighting to put the bald cap on, ow! I took an incredibly important pitbull break.
I'm on fire. I'm a fireball.
With that sorted, it was finally time to put everything together.
Okay.
Oh! Check it out, gamers. What do you guys think? What do you guys...
It looks so natural.
We're getting to work. We're getting to work.
It looks so
After getting the
good.
cosplay together, I did some get to work speedrunning and tried to get a solid time. The best I managed while wearing the cosplay was a 15:35. I have
that's
no
insanely
idea if
good.
this meets your requirement of getting a good time or not, but I did my best.
That's way
Now,
better
those
than
of you
mine, so-
watching might be wondering, did Atrioc actually end up following?
But at least go follow him? All right, I'll follow him right now. Logic, Defender. Consider yourself followed.
Atrioc, I really appreciate you following. Some people in your chat started asking for proof after you did it, but obviously you did, and I think that it's super kind of you to... Wait, he's still not following? That's right. Even after all of this, Big A still isn't following the stream. You know, you seem pretty adamant about not wanting to race the last time you didn't follow, but considering you did it again,
I don't
it's
want
almost
to race.
like
I'm
you
not.
want me to challenge you to a race again? If you still don't want to, fair enough, but it just really hurts to look back at all these broken promises. You know, I think both you and I aren't impartial when it comes to deciding on something you could do to make up for it, so maybe we can leave it up to your chat.
No.
They seem to have things figured out.
No. They're the least partial. They're the least partial. No, I'll stick with my original plan. It's got to be a raid, and it's got to be some gifties. Is Logic Defender live? He's not live. No, that's not Logic Defender. Logic Defender. He is live! He's live right now! Logic Defender! And look at me.
Atrioc not following. Yikers.
I'm following! I'm following!
Atrioc follows! Holy! It fucking happened! It only took 2 tries. Let's go. I think last time he accidentally followed Logic _Defender.
Yes, that was my fault.
From the research we've been doing.
That was
a
my
streamer
fault.
with, by the way, 1 follower now.
Yeah, me.
By the name of Atrioc.
Me, I'm the 1 follower. I made a mistake. Chat, let's raid Logic Defender. It is 10 o'clock. And give him some love. And afterwards, I'm going to gift subs. So join his chat. I'm going to gift subs. If you get one of the subs, 1,000,000 years of good luck will come to you. If you don't get the gift subs, you will probably explode. Okay? No, we'll do copies soon. All right? Raid Logic Defender. Hopefully you get the sub. Hopefully you get the fucking sub. By the way, Marketing Monday on Monday. Please tune back in. The big Tesla one. Been working on it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Dude, what if I rated the other Logic Defender? That would be so funny. What if I rated the wrong one again? All right, bye guys. Thanks for watching. It was fun. Thanks for seeing me today. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure. It's always a blast. We're all best friends. You guys we're best friends. You and me, we're best friends. We are best friends personally for life. We are literally friends on a deep emotional level. Goodbye.